what it what it do? What it do? Chat. What's good, everybody? Tapping in. I appreciate all of you, all my friends. Welcome, welcome. Damn blankets and birthday stuff. My background. All right. What's good with everybody? Everybody having a good weekend? Hopefully everybody's having a blessed weekend. I'm gonna get it up here right quick. Get this thing loaded up for y'all.
I wouldn't go in a sports bar in Philadelphia and being a Dallas fan. I wouldn't suggest that.
Stream is up.
Yeah. What's the worst thing can happen? I get shot?
No, because people get liquid courage and then they go crazy.
They'll cuss you. Well, words ain't gonna bother me personally, but I just know people in Philly are crazy because they'll come up and do altercations. It ain't just one coming up to you; it's several don't go come up to you in Philly.
The Superman complex.
That's true. Yeah, you're on their turf.
So you'll be a group of 3 or 2. The guy said, "Why you in?" And I bar. You don't even live around here. You don't, this, that, and they go on this tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, I do want to speak on something. I do want to speak on something that's, and I just know how it is being in a locker room. Here's the thing for me. What makes a good football team is a good locker room. As the best player, you have the best players all you want on your team.
Mm-hmm.
He may vibe with everybody in there, but it's always that one person. You got to have good people in your locker room. He might not be the best player on there, but he gets along and he keeps the coaches and he leads that locker room where the coaches don't have to go behind he's there to control the locker room, so nobody get out of hand, nobody's fighting, nobody in jealous. He controls the locker room, and that's what makes a good locker room. Not only leaders, but somebody else in there. Because if you got a bunch of Indians and not enough Chiefs, is the locker room going to be fucked up, and the play in the field is going to show. I've seen this too many times.
And your point about that, what you trying to say? You trying to say that about my team?
No, I didn't say anything about your team. I didn't say anything about no. I'm just saying this in football in general.
Oh, that's agree. But you know what? I played Friday night, Cam Newton, where he was talking about crash outs. Okay, all right, and it was kind of funny because I played that clip that everybody started playing it and things like that. But he's right about that. That you do need to have. You got to have a blend of people in there. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, Charles Haley is truly a crash out. Okay, what I can tell you about Charles Haley is you better have your head on a swivel. I don't care if it's in a game, if it's in practice, or in the freaking locker room. He was a prankster, and he will go after your ass in a minute, okay?
Yeah.
You might turn your head, and all of a sudden you got something in your face you're not expecting, if you know what I mean, okay?
He used to ride Joe Montana about his nose and his family.
Yeah, and I can tell you, and here's where I can tell you what happened with him in that locker room, why San Francisco got him out there. Because when they lost in the playoffs with Steve Young, Charles went up there because, see, Charles, winning is something he owned. And if you lose, he ain't got shit for you except an ass whipping. And after they lost in the playoffs, he made a beeline to Steve Young to kick his ass.
Right.
And that's where, boom. Now, Jimmy Johnson gets him here. Now, Jimmy Johnson, and I got this on tape because I asked Jimmy Johnson about it. I said, Charles is my homeboy from JMU. And he said, Charles was one of my favorite players. And he said what happened with Charles was I got on him in practice. And he came to him in the, in his office, said, Coach, I'll do anything you want me to do for you. Just don't embarrass me in front of the team. And Jimmy Johnson found a way to get what he needed out of Charles without embarrassing him and getting the most out of him. That's coaching. That's the key on there. And see, you need a guy like a Charles Haley who's crazy as hell that gets underneath people's skin and people fear him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can
I
tell you,
think Jimmy Johnson though was a good mentor for a lot of guys.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
yeah. He let them play and everything else. Look, you go out there, you have some fun. We gonna have some fun, but you gonna be here and you're gonna be giving everything. And the thing I see right now is, I feel like Brian Schottenheimer is really getting the players to buy in, and the players are buying in with him. Yeah, you when you saw him with the whole shotty shot. Okay, so we got our shotty shot shirt up here right now. Okay, you see him out there. That whole thing was a team building exercise. You got all the players there. They're doing all these stupid drills and everything.
The same kind of thing that your last coach did.
Well, he took them bowling and stuff like that. But here's the thing.
That's the same. It's the same concept.
It's the same concept. But here's the difference, though. Do you see the interaction with Brian Schottenheimer and the players?
I've seen the same thing with the last coach.
Not with Mike McCarthy, not the same way.
No.
He's talking about when it was the watermelons with sledgehammers.
Yeah, that okay, big deal. Okay, we're smashing watermelon. But here's the thing. You had Micah Parsons, who has not been in voluntary workouts the last couple of years. He shows up this year. No, not only that, but he said, I'm showing up for Brian Schottenheimer. Yeah, it is a contract year, but I'm showing up because my coach asked me to be here for this.
Wait till next year. He won't be there, Mark.
Oh, he'll be there.
I doubt it. He'll be paid, so he'll be there.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
Yeah.
He'll be there. He'll be paid.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
No, and and the whole thing last year, I sit here and think
Mike McCarthy never won.
When you think about how bad last year was.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah, everybody knew that Mike McCarthy was on a short lease. You sit here, let all these players go, your buddies and teammates that you've been to battle for, and you ain't bringing in nobody else. The players didn't believe in that shit. They're just like, screw this.
I will say that a player who's no longer with the Washington football team.
You mean the Commanders?
Sean Taylor was a great guy inside that.
He was a crash out.
He was. He's
a great leader.
He'll crash out. Because remember, he went through a lot.
George to
emotionally, and he was like a villain.
You ain't.
Everybody talked
never
about
heard
how
anything
bad
about
he was outside. Then he got his life in order, and he changed that team.
All his issues are on the field,
inside and out.
Sean Taylor was on his way. He was on his way to Canton, Ohio. You know that.
But he couldn't play in today's NFL, though. He couldn't play in today's NFL, I don't think.
He would have gotten a lot of penalties.
Yeah, he would have gotten a lot of flags. That's what
I wonder if maybe he does go posthumously into the Hall of Fame, even though he didn't have much of a career because it was just getting started. But why not?
Let's think about Sean Taylor. He lived a violent early in his life. Mm-hmm. He was a very violent individual, back and forth and like that, and he died a violent death when someone broke in his house.
Right.
Citron says, Mark, you wanted them to keep Mike, and now you say it was no good. I didn't say Mike McCarthy was no good, but what I'm saying is this. The players seem to be relating and buying in to Brian Schottenheimer. The players are talking about the energy that he's bringing. Mike McCarthy is, he's a couple years older than me. Brian Schottenheimer is younger, and the players are relating better with him. That's all I'm saying. Now, I can't say Mike McCarthy is a bad coach. We did have 3 12-5 seasons without the Cowboys really doing much to try and help the guy.
Well, I hate to say this, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to say this.
Then that means if you hate to say it, the Cowboys going to be pretty good.
We're going to have a good season coming up because just simply.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Because this happens all the time. Every time he gets hurt, and he's.
Slight work.
Potent the offense is. I'm being honest.
With these two weapons, he's got to play better, and that's what Jones has done.
Hold on. You have to hear. Shout out to Kelly. Kelly, I could have gone a few years without individual back and forth, warm and fuzzy memories of Mike McCarthy and the watermelon crawl. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
When I first heard
Mark, you were talking about You're talking about Charles earlier. They said Charles Haley didn't mess around with Larry Allen.
No,
They said that's the one man in the locker room he did not cross.
I can guarantee you that one.
What up, Chris?
Yeah,
probably Eric Williams too. That guy was a mean guy.
Yeah, I can see that.
Lord have mercy.
But definitely, but Charles, man, I'm telling you, Charles was no joke. You know, we knew he was great, but we didn't know he was going to be, you know, 5-time Super Bowl great when we were at JMU. We did not recognize that kind of ability. But man, fourth round draft pick by San Francisco, man, first man to 5 Super Bowl rings, and he was tenacious. Sadly, his back gave out on him. In his career, he didn't play as long as you would have liked to have seen him.
That's why
seeing him unretire and go to Carolina for a little bit, that was a little weird.
Yeah, that's what that's where you hate to see players that have been, you know, when you see like Tony Dorsett going to Denver, that was the or Emmett going to Arizona. Those are ones that you just look at and say, shit.
Now,
you know, I bet Leo would say Harold Carmichael going to the Cowboys.
I don't have to throw shade on Emmitt Smith, Mark, because Emmitt Smith stayed in the league to break a record.
Yeah.
That's basically why he was there, because he went to Arizona, got all those yards in Arizona.
He broke the record.
He broke the record with us.
He went to go retire.
No, but he
against Seattle.
Hold on. He went to Arizona for like 2 years, right?
Was it 2?
Yeah, after he broke the record.
Yeah, he broke the record with us.
He broke the record against Seattle, like Will said.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, but he broke it. But he left Cowboys, then he went to Arizona, then he went back to the Cowboys.
He wanted to be a mentor to young
He retired. He came back for one day to do his little hurrah, but then he didn't come back and play for the Cowboys.
Okay.
In fact, John Gruden was interested in him joining Tampa Bay when he was released, but he decided to go to Arizona to play with the team. And this is him.
Well, Bobby V, well, thank you. Bozo Holmes, the biggest hypocrite on YouTube.
In Bill Parcells' system, so that's why he left.
Well, that too, but and he was older, so.
Well, Bobby B, hold on. Let me get the troll real quick. Bobby V, I'm the biggest hypocrite on YouTube. Thank you for watching, because I appreciate the views. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys. So Chris May, why are you looking like a Sith Lord?
I love that background.
Chris May's looking like a Sith Lord.
Oh, the Dracula?
Yeah.
I did that for Drew and Leo.
Hey, send it to me. I'd love to have that one.
Okay. All right. We've literally had Leo in here for 5 minutes and hasn't said jack crap.
I'll send it to you too. I have it. I'm the one that designed that.
That's funny, Chris.
Mark, please tell us your opinion. Okay, wait a minute. Let me answer this question. Tell me my opinion of benching Terrence Steele for Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman actually hasn't been playing tackle. He's been playing guard and center. And I'm going to say Terrence Steele deserves a chance at right tackle. The reason being is he was rated, I believe, in run blocking as the 15th best offensive tackle. His pass blocking has been a problem. But when you looked at the Cowboys last season, where we were only running the ball like 21 times a game, it was a problem because he was pass blocking every play. But as the season went on, because we weren't having Cooper Rush throw for 50 times, except for one game, he was actually a much better tackle. The bigger problem was more of Tyler Guyton and Zach Martin being injured. So I feel like Terrence Steele, if we do have a balanced attack, will be a much better tackle and get back to where he was more of his second year.
On paper, I think they're really
that would be my opinion.
Now,
I totally agree, Mark. Yeah, I mean, Steele deserves a chance. I know he wasn't great last year, but he definitely deserves a chance.
How many people were great on the team in general?
Isn't better. So I've seen Richards. At best, I feel is a swing tackle. So.
I Hi, EKB and Jeff.
I appreciate you.
I just feel like I've been hearing a lot of people talking bad about me and saying that I'm delusional about my team.
We got some Philly fans.
We don't say that here, Momo.
We got some
sophomore
Philly fans
slump
and
all stuff like that.
Oh, that's nothing. Hold on, Momo. It's nothing personal, man.
I'm gonna say it's early. Half these players not going to make a lot of these players not going to make the team. We don't know, so we'll see. And when it happens,
okay. I tell you what, Momo. Name me a quarterback who didn't have a sophomore slump.
You really want me to name some quarterbacks that didn't have a sophomore slump?
Yeah, that didn't have some kind of a sophomore slump. Good.
Okay. Let's. I
mean, I can look and say Jordan Love stepped back. I can look and say.
I can name the obvious. Peyton Manning did not have a sophomore slump.
Yeah, he did. He had hell of
it. He was a horrible quarterback the first year. The second year, he got better. What the hell?
He had so many interceptions. It was crazy.
so you're saying Jaden Daniels is Peyton Manning?
One bad season and then he never had another one.
That was the first
until
season.
He retired.
That's not a sophomore slump. Let's get that right.
Tom Brady wasn't.
It's the first year he had a bad season.
Year 7.
Okay. All right. Go on. Keep going.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady didn't have a sophomore slump. He didn't have a sophomore slump.
No,
he had a when?
Wait. Okay. Let me back this up for a second. So Peyton Manning's first season, he had 3,700 yards. He had 26 TDs and 28 interceptions. Okay. His second year, he had 26 TDs and 15 interceptions.
Hey, Holly.
And he wasn't alone.
Technically that wasn't a sophomore slump, but if you looked at that and said 26 TDs and 15 interceptions, you would have said that's ass. Because I remember when Dak threw, how everybody killed him for leading the league in interceptions, right?
Mark.
I'm just saying.
You know why people get on Dak Prescott and don't really like him? Cowboy fans and everybody. You know the real reason why they don't like Dak Prescott?
Why?
Because he's not being honest with himself. He go there and say the same old thing at every press conference. We had a good game. We'll get better. Win or lose, he's gonna say the same thing. And people want him to be more
not that bad of
and more honest.
Being honest with the media than this.
What's he supposed to say? He's got the worst owners in football.
Yeah. No. He supposed to be honest with himself and the team. You elaborate on something. He says the same thing every time in that press conference.
Well, actually, hold on. Let's back this. Let's back this conversation up for a second.
Let me know if
so Tom.
They turn their audio down.
Hold on here. Tom Brady, his rookie year.
All right.
63.9% completion percentage, 2,843 yards. He played in 14 games. Had 18 TDs and 12 interceptions. Now, he played a full season the next year. His completion percentage went down by 2.
Dude, it's going to be fire the first week. Man, I can't wait for football to start back up. We got like 108, 109 days, something like that. Man, this shit can't come quick enough. I mean, that's here.
Make the Super Bowl that year?
You know, how good was that defense? You know, Tom Brady, here's a misnomer. You know, Tom Brady never had worse than the 7th-rated defense winning Super Bowls.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree with you.
And Tom Brady, okay, we're talking about 28 TDs and 14 interceptions to won the Super Bowl. Are you saying it was because of Tom Brady?
No, I say because of the defense.
There you go. So, you know, he had a great defense there to start out. Do you have a great defense?
Huh?
Do you have a great?
That'll be RG3
so you don't have that
repeat.
going for you. Okay, all right. I'm just asking for a friend.
My thing about Jaden.
If all he does is use his legs, he'll be an RG3 repeat.
No, we're Cowboy fans. We're not gonna be fair to Commanders fans.
His legs going compensate if he now don't throw the ball as well. So let's get that straight.
For now.
No.
Give it a few years. Look at Hurts. Hurts is starting to slow down now.
No, I don't either, Chris. They said before the draft, they said that there was 2 substantive trades that they were working on.
Actually, it was that season that he had the mysterious knee injury that they weren't calling for. That he was limping, because I remember the game that he ended up hurting it.
Tackle, D-tackle, cornerback. Some people would say running back too, but I think the running back room is good.
Hold on a second, guys. Drew. Hey, Drew. You just can't come in here and just call Mark that sexual.
The Cowboys got plenty of salary cap right now.
Let's chill out with that.
They're one of the top 5 teams, if I'm not mistaken.
So Leo's in the house. Leo.
Yes, sir.
This year.
The tickets are going up by
and
the
then next
minute,
year is
bro.
going to be more.
For the first game, right?
And they got triggers that they can pull to open up even more. Now, I don't think the Cowboys are going to go after Zadarius Smith. I saw that.
I'm sitting here looking at the cheapest upper level seats.
What?
Corner end zone, 647.
What the hell?
I'm sorry, say that again.
If he stays unsigned for too long, he won't have a whole lot of options. It'll be whether he wants to play it.
It's like when you win a Super Bowl.
At a certain point, teams are just going to be like, well, we just ain't going to pay you.
When I went to the Tampa
So
Bay
you can sit on your couch or you can come in and
$150
try to make this money.
Wait,
try to win this chip.
After they won the Super Bowl, it's $150.
But was that for the game where they're lifting the Super Bowl thing?
It was a Super Bowl celebration. They had the Jets fly across and everything.
Yeah, but look at how much the league has changed from then to now. A lot's going on. So, you know, I would imagine. I'm not saying that's the case. It's just my theory. Like, okay, this is what happens when you win the Super Bowl. Your tickets go up. Okay, especially when you think about the first game.
In a bigger market, though, a higher market.
Yeah, well, it's where the Philadelphia is the 4th largest market.
Yes, so that's a big market, and pricing and everything has gone up.
Yep. So I would imagine
North Carolina, things gone up here, but it's not like, for example, you can buy a nice home for here for less than $400,000.
Yeah,
a nice.
Oh, I can't wait for the game. I can't wait.
Yeah, $1 million, $2 million there.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I just, Mark, I just think it's just more so. It's the first game. It's the Cowboys.
It's the Super Bowl party. It's everything. It's the perfect storm.
It'll be a good game. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait for the game. I can't wait.
Oh, I'm. Listen, you guys have a lot to be happy about, especially when you look at the differences between this year and
oh my God, that's what I keep trying to tell
look
people.
At it. I mean, we've got another wide receiver. We got a wide receiver 2 now.
Yep. You know,
the health,
game so far,
and man, that's a big factor on whether or not you
not
can do good in the playoffs.
Running
You
game.
can stay healthy.
I think
all
Javonte will do okay.
That's why you want to have a good set of backups on your team as well, so that you can rotate your starters in and out and keep them as fresh as possible.
Yes, you guys.
That's the goal at the end of the year, is to have everybody there so they can play.
No one knows what this offense is going to look like.
Yep.
Only because this is the first time with these coaches that you have that's been put together. So we can speculate all day, actually see it.
Right.
You're not gonna know. And,
that's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's what you can figure, that Caton Adams, it's going to be a physical offensive line. They're going to be attacking for the running game. You can figure that much. And you know Brian Schottenheimer, coming from being a Schottenheimer, does like balance and does like running football. When he was with the Jets, even with Mark Sanchez, taking them to the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
Yeah, there's question marks. There's question marks, but I think that's the focus of the offseason.
2 good receivers, 2 really good receivers.
Right.
Oh,
so
shit.
Again, we just don't. The thing is that we still just don't know what this will look like.
Well, I see what Leo said
for the most part.
Leo's saying chemistry.
Yeah.
Saying how's our chemistry?
Yeah, there's question marks.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the focus of the
that's fair. How's our chemistry going?
But Loyal, I mean, from what I can see, you know what I'm saying. I can't put it down. I mean, the guy's done things like move people's lockers around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you see him amongst the players more so.
Right, and in real moments, not like that's my boss. It's like that's my buddy.
I appreciate what he does for me. He's definitely promoted my channel before, and he promotes me every Sunday that he allows me to be on the stream with him.
You guys should practice
I appreciate
a little bit of cautionary optimism. You understand what I'm saying? Only because after so many years of letdown, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
How do you protect
you need some confidence.
Building yourself up.
As opposed to this whole thing, we scared of you. No, as opposed to this whole thing.
Yeah,
we're just happy to be competing with the. No, screw that. Build this thing up. Get some confidence in yourselves, because I think the Cowboys. When you go to the character issues, when we're winning, oh man, we party and everything else. When we start losing, we turn into a shell.
What really says the kind of person you are.
Let me get some guys that are a little aggressive.
All right.
Let me get some guys that are excited. Let me get some guys that are lighting some fires.
Is
try
what
something
that
different.
person does when you're not
you know what,
looking.
Mark? I'll be honest with you.
What
that's
that
when
person
I have
does
to jump off
when
the
you're
train,
not
because
around.
That's not.
Are they the same
That's
person
not
that they are
what
when
it
you're
is for
around?
us. You know what I'm saying?
If they're
we're
not,
more
then
so
obviously
just worried
there's
about
something that's being
health,
kind of
and getting into the
in a
postseason
sense.
and winning another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation, like the outlook and the conversation,
Yeah,
the
Mark's
priorities
definitely dedicated.
are just a little bit different, because we're not.
And he does
we're
do
not
a lot for the
wondering what
community.
our team is going to look like
as far as
all
he's
around
done
coaching.
financial support
Offense,
for some. He's done
our
mental
guys
support
did
for
what your
he's
head
done
coach
obviously
did.
podcast
From within.
support for some.
You know what I'm saying? So
just the head coach.
Yeah, well, our OC.
He builds all those shelving things that are in his background. You see the hat rack. You see
about our offense is
the little football shelf. He makes those
language
things and sells them as well.
And
here's an interesting take, because Kate and Adams, what they're doing is they're not changing the language. He's learning the language and changing his.
Right. He's wrapping himself around the players,
right? As opposed to saying, I got 11 guys that got to learn my thing. It'll be easier for me, or easier for them. They keep their shit, and I'm the only one that's got to learn theirs.
Yeah. Now I know, again,
lovely Linda. What's up, Linda?
You did the other day. Yes.
You played football, organized football, at some point in your life before.
Yes.
So I know that you can appreciate the challenge of having to learn a new offense, a new language altogether. And
yes, sir, Messi. Yes, sir, brother.
Can't stand this, or whatever. But aside from the fandom, I think it's exceptional that you have a quarterback who's had a different offensive coordinator almost every year that he's been in the league and has performed such as he has. That's a difficult thing to do, no matter whether, again, forget the fact that it's Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia. It's just the fact that as someone who knows
it's not AI. I made the background.
That's a pretty daunting task. Now,
yeah, I made the background. Like I make all my pictures. I don't I don't use AI.
Jaguars in the top
I've clicked into it once, but I've never actually gone through and actually really checked it out. I'm not big into AI. I think it does a little too much.
Haven't been a nose guard. And without knowing it, Mark, you have said, and I told you this before, you have said a few things at the same, in a different way, but the same thing that I've heard him say. And he told me that it is very, very, very difficult to play on the line, whether it be offense or defense. But from an offensive lineman perspective, you have to, he said, it's not just that you got to know what you're doing. He said you got to know what
everybody else is doing.
He said it's like a choreography, and you got to know where the right guard is doing and the right tackle is doing.
And if the quarterback's changing the play, right, you could be changing the hole. You may be thinking it's coming right off your ass. You're cracking it down to the next hole. You're pulling. I mean, it's like
and then taking. He said, then you got to take in. He said, not only that though. He said, but then you got to take into account what the guy in front of you was about to do.
Right.
And where he's lined up at. And I remember one time you talked about, when you're playing nose guard, it's whether you line up on the right side, the right shoulder of the tackle.
Where you're shaded, yeah. You can be shaded to the left or shaded to the right.
Yeah, so when you brought up some of the things, like I remember Brian Baldinger talking about breaking down film and everything like that. And the one thing that I always appreciated was the fact that he said every member of that offensive line can pull, which is something that is unusual. And then I remember not too long after I heard him say that, that's when I remember you got on and you talked about what it's like playing a nose tackle position and the things that
you gotta be head on
and
the
so
swivel.
So it just and all I'm just pointing these things out to say, like, it gave me as a fan of football, period. It just gave me a different perspective and a different appreciation for all the things that have to go into it. So I'm a little more. Like,
that's normal if you played offensive line or defensive line.
Momo, I did not play offensive line, and I'm saying
I thought you played for. I know. I thought you played.
Yo, Messi, that's literally like my song with my boys.
What I'm saying to you is that
Simple Man.
I'm just relaying to
that's
you
the song me and my boys would jam out to.
Listening to someone who played offensive line for the Baltimore Ravens.
And my daughter, I have
at
a
a
song
high
with my
level,
daughter
and
too,
then listening to
rock
Mark
song.
Holmes, who played football.
But yeah, that's a song that me and my boys we jam
a number
out
of times.
to that.
I hear Mark
they love
say
that song.
things that I've heard
by Leonard Skinner.
Well, yes, of course.
With someone else.
Mama
so
told
like,
me
I guess that is real.
when I
played high school football, I had to know on certain positions. In case that person get hurt or whatever the case may be, I had to go and place that individual because you know sometimes you have to replace. If I'm the defensive end or the or the defensive tackle, I have to know that position.
Hey man, it makes me want to play the song. It makes me want to play the song, but I can't do that. Hey, copyright. What up, Trent? What's good, brother? What up? What up? What up? Whoa.
Yeah,
that's true.
And
we with the shots.
You know, like I appreciate
we with the
shots
this year.
You know,
we with the shots.
Our coach, our offensive
and the
line
shots
coach,
still big.
has been doing.
That's like just like if you a 7, for example, Leo, and everybody listening. If you you're a 7th round, 8th round, a 7th round
wild child,
and you probably the last person, and you a running back or a DB coming into the draft, but just no spot on you. And the only spot is the special teams. That's how players made the team back in the day because they had to get on the special teams or be a wedge buster,
like Terrell Davis. He had to make a big play on special teams.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. He was drafted. He was drafted. That he didn't start his first couple of years. I think it was the first year or second he didn't start.
Yeah,
so you had to be on special teams.
No.
You know, taking in all those the different experiences that I've heard people like Mark and Eugene Monroe say to me. It's just like, oh wow, like damn, okay. I have a different appreciation for at least from the trench part of it all because they said
you not tell me, boy? Why will you sit
in different ways, but it's the same thing. So
now here's what.
Daddy, I need my butt clean.
Don't is he likes physicality, and this was his quote right after he got hired.
It's not good.
The same thing I want from every player on offense, and that is to create violence in the game. Be aggressive, run, hit, and I think every decision he makes needs to lean in that direction. So if there's a gray area, what is going to allow these guys to play more free and run and hit and be violent? So, that I like aggression, and that's where you get a guy like Tyler Booker, who's not scared. Now, he may end up getting his ass whooped, game one, but that's a guy that if the Cowboys do get their ass whooped, then that gives them a measuring stick to say, okay, we got to be better.
This game is over.
I don't think Micah's reaction to what Tyler Booker was saying was not warranted. First of all, you drafted this guy in the first round, the first round draft pick, and that's how he's talking. That's exactly what you better be talking that way. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah,
and
that's the polar opposite of Tyler Guyton.
Right, and then on top of that talk came at the same time. You guys are trying to address culture issues, so it helps with that. Now does how that actually translates?
Excuses for Tyler Booker.
Now, how that translates on the actual playing field,
wheeling around, the quicker it gets done.
You want a guy especially a rookie coming in talking like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Mark,
you better back that shit up.
Yeah, remember when Jalen Carter said, he said, "Hey, get Philadelphia, get ready. We're gonna win the Super Bowl." 2 years later, it happened. So it's just like like you want
Sorry about that, chat. Sorry about that, chat.
Big like that, you know what I'm saying? Because if you wasn't thinking that way, I'd have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So
I didn't even know it. Boy, didn't even.
Hold on, y'all don't know this,
but I don't know why.
That's that
tell
SEC
me
shit.
change my butt.
Number 2. You don't know nothing about
number
that.
1.
That's that SEC talk.
No.
Yeah, so
Sit there. I'm like, why would you want to do that?
Real shit.
All right.
Well, and Thomas, that means they're coming from this where culture was a
I can let Mello out.
I live in SEC country.
And make sure that the gate's closed.
If you don't play in the SEC, you don't
You're
talk
supposed
like that.
to. So that I don't, when I let Mello out, he don't run in the neighborhood.
Big 10.
Come on, so I can let Mello out. Go check.
But if SEC, we talk like this down here.
I think every
y'all hear the chat just fine? Y'all hear that all just fine?
That's where I'm at.
They want to prove that.
Sorry, I had a couple things that I was trying to do real quick. Had to take care of.
People talk smack no matter where they from.
Well,
they're gonna talk smack on the football
let me
field.
talk smack about this one.
It got nothing to do with what conference you come from, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Well, again, when you're a team that's talking about culture, when you're putting an emphasis on culture or building,
Michael, leave the dog alone.
You want guys like that. I mean,
go check, make sure the gates are closed, please.
You want some crash outs, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, you think I want to?
I can appreciate that.
I didn't leave it open.
We had Brian Dawkins, who was a crash out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We had Asante Samuels.
You're the one that was back there.
Out. You see what I'm saying? So I could appreciate the sense
you got Momo, who's always been a crash out.
You know, I could appreciate what you're saying when what you mean when you're talking about the delicate balance between having the crash out and then building the culture at the same time, the whole 9 yards. I thought Jimmy Johnson was a
T.O. was a crash out too. He played for y'all and us.
Charles Haley.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So because you was using Charles Haley as the example. You know what I'm saying? So I'm again.
Oh, but he had other ones like Kevin Gogan was another one.
I'm talking about the example that you were using earlier.
Yeah.
When you were talking about Charles Haley. I was like, yeah, I actually get that. So again, not trying to.
Now this was surprising to me because I had to double check on it because I did not think that this was the case. We were last year third in the NFL with 52 sacks.
Me too, Bill Cosby.
And surprisingly, the Commanders had 43.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was the Eagles only had 41 sacks last year. You would actually think that it would have been the reverse.
What up, Taylor? Was good.
Trying to catch up to you.
Sam Williams
we
was
had
gone.
games
Neal
that are
was
blowouts
gone.
where teams are running the ball
All
in
at
the
one
second
point,
half,
anyway.
and everybody's always running against us. You wouldn't think we would have as many opportunities as the Eagles. And looking at that, knowing that Micah Parsons was gone for 5 games,
All right, thank you.
D-Law was more of a run stopper, and he's gone. Cowboys could be, and Sam Williams is gone. When you think that we're going to probably score a lot more points this year than last year, we might be able to get to the point of getting about 60 sacks.
Yeah, but does here's the $1 million. Here's the anecdote to that. Are you implying that more sacks?
All right, I fixed the curtain for all guys.
Is what will get you to a Super Bowl?
Please don't pull on that curtain.
This is why this whole statistic seemed weird. Because your team won the majority of their games. Your team ran the ball more. Okay? Which means the opposite for the other team is we got to hurry up and score. We're going to pass more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my 3-year-old.
Because we got to catch up. We got to
fixed up created a little metal weld on the little bracket and hung the little thing back up.
If
What
the
up, Taylor?
Cowboys can
What's
score
good
a
with
lot
you,
of
brother?
points and put people one-dimensional, that flows into helping our defense because our defense.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought I was
because our defense is better rushing the quarterback than stopping the run.
Can you mute? I bet it's Thomas Garrett.
No, it's Royal.
Yeah, Royal. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, Mark. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Okay.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought I was muted. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
No, my point being is for the Cowboys defense, we truly have better pass rushers than we do run stoppers. If the Cowboys offense having, now George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, which should make everybody else in the offense better, because if you put 8 men in the box and I got CD outside and I got George Pickens, I'll take that every day. Okay, that's fine by me. I'll go ahead and have those two go deep. One of those guys will be on receiver 2.
I'm going to make a prediction, another prediction.
Here we go.
Michael Parsons, I think they're going to change his defense end. I think he's better suited what his position is. I don't think he's going to be rushing the passes as much as you and the Cowboy fan base believe.
I don't know about that
I
one.
think it'd be because remember, Michael Parsons has not been really coached up like he should be, because I think he's out of position.
That's his biggest strength, so I doubt.
Yeah, that's his biggest strength. But here's the thing, though.
Biggest position, but
Leo.
But I think he can do better as a linebacker per se, right linebacker or middle linebacker. I think he's better suited for that. His skill set says that he's better suited for that.
Momo, you said I don't know how many times that Michael Parsons can only rush the quarterback. Now you want to take that from
I'm just going by your skill set. I was bullshitting.
Okay.
Like I said, I was trolling. You know,
And then that's what makes it hard to take Commander fans serious.
Whatever. I'm being simplistic, and I'm being honest with myself.
Stopping Michael Parsons from rushing the quarterback is like taking my race car to bumper traffic. That's
right. Exactly. I believe
the best quarterback rushing passer that they had was Dante Fowler. Now he's back with the Cowboys.
The only way that happens is if you have somebody who can take up the slack and be able to rush the quarterback like he does.
I got people to rush the quarterback.
Too many.
Well, it remains to be seen if they can rush the quarterback like Micah Parsons.
I'm just telling you.
Okay. If we go through, you know how many guys we've had that have 10 sacks in the last 15 years in a season?
Don't be surprised if you see him in the linebacker role at times in defense. I'm just saying.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but there's a reason why you're not an NFL coach.
I know. I'm telling you. I'm telling you because I'm telling you, this coach, this defensive coordinator does not. He's a different type of coordinator.
Dracula, Troy.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We are all armchair quarterbacks and coaches here, so we'll see. But here's where I look at this and say Micah Parsons could be more effective because, especially if they ended up getting another defensive tackle. Because if you end up having easy as anything on the opposite side of him, because we really did not have Carl Lawson was really our next best pass rusher last year because everybody else is hurt. If Donovan Easy is decent over there, Micah Parsons could have 20 sacks on the season. And if you
no, he's not gonna have no 20 sacks.
Watch. If the Cowboys got themselves or one of their defensive tackles plays legitimate, where they're a game wrecker, and you've got another guy who can rush the ball, you can't focus in on because of what happened last year. In the same way CeeDee Lamb was, if you stop CeeDee Lamb, you pretty much stop the Dallas Cowboys offense, right?
I'm just
okay, now it's the same thing. What's the problem when we get to the playoffs?
Yeah, many times
there's no other dog out there to help out. What?
You gotta look at the defensive coordinator. Look how he plays. What he does.
I can bet you my hand. I mean, my life versus a handful of shit that they're not going to take Micah Parsons and make him a linebacker.
I say because Eberflus has already said that he's going to have Parsons going after the quarterback.
Move him around. And having in a linebacker role. That's what that defensive coordinator is. That's
no, he's not going linebacker.
No, I tell you what,
he's coming.
He had bro.
I said at times. I can say the whole
Leo.
Yes, sir.
He'll be creative with him.
Why can't
Leo, he came back the last 11 games and had 12 sacks. So for dude over here is laughing and saying 20 sacks, wake up. He had 12 and a half sacks last year in 12 games.
Mark, you can't go by that.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. You got a better team on defense. You have more edge rushers. You got a Robin right now. Hold on. Second part of this is your offense, if Dak Prescott stays healthy, will score a whole lot more points, which will put the opposition forcing them to pass more, which will give them more
Philly's
opportunities.
always been good in the trenches.
Well, Mark, I'll say this. Listening to everything you're saying about your line, the whole 9 yards, I'm talking about your defensive line, your edge rushers and stuff like that. It sounds to me like you have to have one hell of an offensive line to be able to handle that, which I think we do have.
Always goes back to you.
Yeah, I take again, listening to all this, I'm just like, okay, well, I'll take the Pepsi challenge. I mean, 4 of our 5 guys were all pros last year. You know what I'm saying? So, and when it comes to our defense, this will be our defensive line's second year in the Vic Fangio system.
Yes, I hear you. All right, moving along with the. Okay, I got it. We know you guys are the gold.
Mark. Listen, bro, you're the one who made the point about the sacks and everything like that. At least allow me to complete the thought on the response to that.
Okay.
And that's what that was my response to what you had said earlier, which is you're surprised. 41 to 53, I think you said, or something like that. And I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, that was a defensive line who was going through learning a new defense at the same time. And this is the second one. And then on top of that, when you look at the losses like Milton Williams, Darius Slay,
sorry, I'm trying to pay attention and get a word in.
CJ Gardner-Johnson, the good news is that we have more guys returning from going into their second same system than we. So that's all. I just wanted to at least respond to that thing you said about 53 versus 41 and how surprising it was.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reasonable explanation for that. And the last point I'll make is that the good news is that 41 sacks still got us to a Super Bowl, and we won.
I'm not discussing. I would have thought, okay, and it wasn't meant to be disrespect. My point was, I'm surprised that it was only that many, because I would have thought that you would have had more teams that were chasing you, in which case that front line would be getting to the quarterback more often, and it just didn't. And I'm just sitting here looking at the Cowboys. Here's the reason why, Momo, I will tell you that I think you're wrong on that, because when you have a person who requires double teams and sometimes triple teams, you are setting up opportunities for other people. And that's legitimately what Micah Parsons does. And you don't have a guy that can require, as an edge rusher, at least not yet, that kind of respect.
I was going to say the same thing.
You look and say, this guy can blow up the play by himself. And if you take him and make him a middle linebacker, you are reducing what that pass rush can be. Because what he does, because he's so good, is part of the reason why Osa Ndigazua has as many pressures as he does.
Here's the problem. He has to learn how to recognize when there's a screen pass. He has to recognize when there's a draw play.
Here's my thing. If I got a guy that's going to get me 15 sacks, I got 10 other guys that requires double teams and sometimes trickle teams. I got 10 other guys that I want to take care of that stuff. I want to use him for exactly what he does. Because you can take Charles Haley. Charles Haley wasn't exactly a great run stopper either. Charles Haley, his job was you get your ass up the field and you get off to that quarterback's ass. That's your one thing. That's what you do. No, that's because here's the difference. See, the difference is if you want to have sacks and pressures and all that stuff, you have to be aggressive from play one to get upfield. If you're playing the run, you're staying at the line of scrimmage. So which one do you want? Do you want me to play the line of scrimmage and stop the run, or do you want me to put pressure on the quarterback? And we don't know the defensive philosophy here. It may have been said, Micah Parsons, we want you to just wreak havoc upfield. That is your responsibility. In the same way, as a nose tackle, listen to me for a second. Wait, Momo, listen to me for a second. In the same step, as a nose guard, I remember being in a JV game. I could shoot the gap, get between the offensive linemen. Right. I literally got in the hip pocket of the quarterback and tackled him and the running back as he's handing the ball off. and literally got cussed out because that was not my assignment. My assignment was hold up the offensive line. So you're up here making the assumption
said
that
in his
Micah
interview,
Parsons just doesn't know how to do the run.
He said
You
in
don't
his
know
interview
if the
that Micah
coach is
Parsons
saying,
was going after the quarterback.
I'm taking the one thing that you do great,
said in
and I
his
want you to
interview
do that
when
every
he came
single
back to the
play.
Cowboys that he
Get
was going to have Micah
upfield
going
and
after
be in the backfield.
I'm telling you, Mark,
he said it himself in the interview. I did a reaction to it.
We'll see.
That's it. That's
you know everything. And you know what? Has Everflus had a guy like Micah Parsons?
We've heard that Micah Parsons is going to be moved around. They try it, and then what happens? They go back to him rushing the passer.
That's all talk.
Okay. Okay.
I did a reaction to it.
How's that all talk?
I think that's all talk.
That's what.
Momo up here showing his ass without showing his ass. Okay?
We've heard the Micah Parsons.
He wants to get it out now. So the season ain't gonna be like
and then what happens? They go back to him rushing the passer.
I'm just saying it's May, and I'm allowed to talk my shit now.
I don't feel the same.
July and training is happening. We'll see what happens.
He wants to get it out now. So the season ain't gonna be like last.
It's been a lot of talk. It's been a whole lot of talk.
We going 11-7, and we going win the division. So what are you talking about? What y'all talking about?
You know, okay. Let me see if I can get this correct now.
Damn.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get this correct. So you have a person who is in the top 2 or 3 in a skill in the whole NFL, right? And it's not just 1 year,
switch over to
it's been every year of his career. Instead of doing that, we're going to say, okay, we're going to make you do something different as opposed to what you do that's great. Is that what you're saying, Momo?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying. You're saying
they gonna have him doing different. They gonna have him doing different things. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, no.
So basically, what you're saying, sometimes he's gonna rush the quarterback. Sometimes
I think 80% of the time he's gonna rush the quarterback. And
yes, and sometimes they made it look like he was gonna rush and he dropped the coverage last year.
They've been doing that.
Okay.
And Eberflus has been here before.
The official coordinator for the Dallas
has been here before.
Y'all probably gonna run him out of town too. So every defensive coordinator y'all get, y'all chase him out anyway. So this ain't gonna be nothing new.
Like Zimmer retired, really didn't chase him out. But.
Who did you chase out? Who did y'all chase out?
No, Zimmer.
No,
Momo. Mike Zimmer retired. Remember?
Wait, well, okay. Y'all had Wade Phillips. Y'all had Wade Phillips. Y'all Mr. Handclap. Made him just as much money as the head coach. But y'all chased him down.
How many people have the damn Washington football team chased out of town?
Probably a lot. The owner was horrible.
Oh, Lordy.
But this year we going 11-7. We gonna win the division. That's all I got to say about it.
11-7. There's only.
I can't wait to be talking smack. Because Momo, I got your phone number. When your quarterback has the sophomore slump,
including the playoffs,
and they have a losing record, I'm gonna be calling you every day, bro.
Call me every day.
I'm gonna call you every day.
Please do.
Lord have mercy.
That's the right person to call.
I can smell a smashed quarterback in Washington this year.
I could smell about 1,200 yards rushing the ball, him running the ball, and 2,000 yards, maybe 5,000 yards passing. So let's get it cracking.
What is the definition
God.
of delusional?
Momo.
Leo, have you been sending him some of that weed, man?
You know what, Mark? I think I actually do need to send him some. You know
I don't know what whack weed he's smoking.
Yeah, I don't think he's smoking the right stuff.
Did he say 1,200 yards rushing and 5,000 passing?
He said 2,000 yards rushing and 5,000 yards passing, and they're going to win the division.
Leo,
Yes, sir. What's that, Thomas?
Gina Dallas Diva.
Have some of that herb delivered.
You know what, Tom? No, Thomas, I think you're right. I think he is in need of it. Some the good stuff. Whatever he's it's got mold. It's got mold in it.
All right, sorry about that. What up, Messi?
Fan, you should be focused. And
Linda, he said 5,000 yards passing and 2,000 yards rushing.
The last time y'all had a rookie quarterback go crazy, he disappeared the rest of his career.
Okay, can I explain that? We live in the area. Mark live in the area. Mark can tell you what happened. He got big-headed. His delusional wife. He sacked the offensive line. Ooh. He started going out, hanging out with the owner.
Jaden Daniels, RG3
He got his leg jacked up.
Dwayne Haskins.
No.
RG3.
No, Dwayne Haskins.
And so the offense
could
block for him anymore. They say we are done.
RG3 got hurt.
What's an EDP? What do you mean EDP?
Up, and then he got exposed because he couldn't get outside anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what you mean by EDP.
Did he come to the league hurt too?
Turn on Robbie Griffin. They whole team turned on.
Not privy to me in.
Well,
that and I'm gonna tell you, Momo. I went to training camp
and ran him up and down the field till he got injured.
I went to Washington training camp, his second year, and they were doing the whole Adidas campaign, all in.
Right.
And I was looking at him training camp, and I was like, that knee ain't healed. It wasn't anywhere near healed. But that campaign kept him on there.
So you know why, Mark? You know why?
What?
He didn't want the other quarterback. The other quarterback name?
Kirk Cousins.
Atlanta now?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. He didn't want Kirk Cousins to take his spot.
No, it was all publicity. It was the marketing thing for Adidas, man, all in.
Yeah, it was. It was horrible.
Yeah, and then he decided he wanted to be a pocket quarterback, and he was not a pocket quarterback.
His daddy came out and had that stupid press conference saying, "Hey, my son gonna be a pocket quarterback. He's gonna like that. He's not gonna be running the ball like he normally do." I said, "You gonna take what's best when he does best?"
Yeah, it's a new bottle.
What? He gonna
wait, what?
He gonna take what from what he does best? Why would he do that, Mama?
Didn't have a praise for RG3 when he came.
I'm talking about the quarterback.
Oh, and because now we got RG3 2.0.
Oh, shit.
The Eagles fans, that's PD.
11-6. Y'all get used
to it. Do you realize that Momo had to go all the way back to RG3 to make it?
That's fuck, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know nothing about that. I don't watch a lot of the mainstream media stuff.
And these people have revisionist history.
Yeah,
okay?
You do too.
So, no, we have a Super Bowl.
Oh, shit. We're off the rails here.
You had your Cunninghams. So don't
and speaking of which, Mark, that was the one that hurt me to see in a Cowboys uniform.
Who?
Randall. That was the one that hurt me. That one hurt me more than
Harold Carmichael.
Any former Eagle playing for you guys, Jason Peters, and so on.
Murray.
So it just hurt to see, Randall in a Cowboys uniform. That one hurt me, and I'm only speaking about
he did
myself.
a bad job.
Well, I'm going to say it didn't hurt me seeing Orlando Scandrick wearing it.
I'm sorry, say that again, Mark.
I said it didn't hurt me seeing Orlando Scandrick wearing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who did I hate. I didn't.
It actually didn't hurt seeing DeMarco Murray because he stunk up the place.
That didn't work out. DeMarco Murray didn't work out.
Scandrick didn't work out.
From the Cowboys. Orlando Scandrick. Yeah, didn't.
Y'all had Miles Austin, didn't you?
Yeah, we had. I said Miles. Yep.
That didn't work out.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, Herschel Walker. Yeah, but I'm just again, guys, and Mark, I just want to address this one thing real quick because you played the clip a couple of times this week about Micah and CD and them reacting to the Guantanamo Bay thing or what have you. You know, I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. You know what I mean? There's something to that if you think about it. Because when CD played against us last year, which was Queen Albert's first year.
You mean with Cooper Rush? With Cooper, I can't do shit against the Eagles.
Wasn't he also injured?
Yeah. You know, but I'm just saying because your man was on that same shit talking about I ain't never been locked up. I ain't never, bruh. You only had like a couple of catches against us, and you ain't had no touchdowns. And you didn't even play in the second. You didn't play in the second game. So there's some validity to what they're saying. Now, if you want to add the Cooper Rush part of it all to it, fine, no problem. But don't say that my man didn't do what he was supposed to do against y'all. He did. You had good games, I guess, or statistical games against a lot of other teams. But when it came to the Philadelphia Eagles, you did not have a good game when you did play us. You had fact, you had a terrible game.
I'm looking at Cooper Rush versus the Eagles. Man, you talk about sad. Cooper Rush, in all of the games he's played against the Eagles, has 2 TDs and 5 interceptions.
I think that's what somebody needs to send that to Micah and CD when they're talking about when they were talking about Quinn.
Okay, when you're talking about a guy that's had a 51% completion percentage against the team, I don't know that you can talk about CeeDee Lamb because Cooper Rush couldn't hit anybody.
No, listen. All I'm doing is addressing that clip that you put out where Micah and CD and them was playing golf, or they were somewhere, and then they were reading the Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, Again, let me preface it this. In 3 starts against the Eagles,
no.
He's got 383 yards passing.
What up, WWE? Was good.
2 TDs.
It was good. Tribal cheating, Merle. I hear you. Good with you, brother. Welcome in. Right now we're doing football.
Going against Cooper freaking Rush.
Tomorrow we'll have WWE though.
Cooper Rush, who only threw 45 yards in the game.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Yeah. So
to everybody. Okay.
Yeah, y'all shut down.
So come on. Okay. Come on, bro.
Yeah, so
okay.
On paper we do.
Oh
man,
my God.
we might if the Cowboys get back to the 2021 offense this year, because that's the last time. That's when CD and Amari was on the team, right?
Everything is an if until you see it.
We have a better defense than we had that year.
But Derek, realize you preference everything you just said with if.
You know what?
If too.
It's if for you guys too, man.
It won't be a will. No, everybody's ifing right now.
Oh my God!
That's what the narrative was.
Coach was based. Quarterback was like, I'm a top 5 quarterback. Was he a top 5 quarterback this past year?
Dak was having a good season before he went down.
Oh, you mean when we were rushing 51 yards a game?
I hear you, bro. What up, man?
My man was on camera talking about we fucking suck. So I'm just saying, like,
yeah. Collectively, everything. Our defense literally had 2 games that they couldn't force a punt.
He said, "I'm about to buy me a truck."
I don't know. I know his name is Leo.
Had a defense that 2 games could not force a punt.
He was like, "I'm about to buy me a truck."
No, yeah, that ain't our boy. I see what you're saying.
Last piece of film.
I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. But no, that ain't our boy, Leo.
That was not the. Okay, you know what? Keep that in mind. Think that that's the team that you're gonna face.
No,
think that's the team you're gonna face.
No. Listen, all I'm saying is you know who you going against.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you look like going against that team. Now, what you do know is what y'all look like the last time you went against that team.
And it wasn't this ain't the same team, bro.
Look.
The last time Dak played, the Eagles was what?
The guy in the you talking about the guy on screen with us?
I'm talking about last year. I'm only going as far back as.
But you can't call last year, man.
Hey, no, the Discord, the pictures you sent probably is.
Mitchell was a rookie last year. You know what I'm saying? Cooper DeJean was a rookie last year.
That's probably it.
Smart CD and Pickens running loose.
It's not him.
I don't blame him for being scared. Laugh out loud. They're getting nervous. Got it. I got it now. Where's the raid for real? The raid is back down at the Red Brick House. But it's all good, though. Again, sleep on the Cowboys. I hope that the Cowboys play like they're scared and not that they're front runners. I want them to have a chip on their shoulders. I want them to be continuously looked past and shit on. And that they get some edge and some attitude. and they go in there in Philadelphia and they bitch slap you.
Well, Mark, I mean, like it's difficult. It's difficult to take it at you can only take it at face value. Like I remember 2 years ago, your defense was saying we ain't taking shit from all 32 teams. You know what I'm saying? And that was in training camp, and y'all was supposed to, you know, all this other stuff. How has that translated? It has not translated well at all.
That's not.
You know what might be the biggest problem for your Eagles team, though?
You that convinced it.
Going into that game is exactly what you're sitting there thinking about, how you dominated the Cowboys. And you're looking past that to Kansas City, the Rams, and Tampa Bay.
No.
His name is Leo.
I am under no delusion at all. I'm not looking past the Dallas
he ain't
Cowboys.
that.
All I am saying,
I don't think that Leo even has
I'm
a
going
YouTube
off
channel.
Of the last piece of film that
He
we
might.
had.
I could be
You know what I'm
absolutely
saying?
wrong.
And that was with Cooper Rush as your quarterback and not.
And that's got absolutely nothing to do with this team. You're going to have a different quarterback, different offensive coordinator, different head coach. You've got everything that's coming, different players.
So here's the thing. When you talk about what's going to happen and how you're going to do this and how you're going to be that, add that part in it too. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Is that
so? Look at it this way. Wait. Let's look at it this way. When Tampa Bay went out and they got Tom Brady, did that make that team that much better or not?
Yes.
Because in essence, that's basically what we're doing. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, so don't send me your hate mail.
No,
but we're upgrading the quarterback position from Cooper Rush to Dak Prescott. When you got A.J. Brown versus Rhaegar,
right?
Did that upgrade your team or not?
We went to the Super Bowl that year.
Okay, so we've done both of those moves right there from the team that you're comparing from last year. We have two major upgrades on the offense that we didn't have last year, right?
Yeah, but what do you have? What's the common denominator between the two?
What do you mean? What's the common denominator?
Who else? Who was there last year? That's there this year. Jerry Jones.
That's okay. You can take Jerry Jones out because you can take Jerry Jones. Hold on, but yes, in past years, if you go by what we did last year, but see, we ain't done a Pickens move since Amari Cooper.
Again, a reason why to be. I get why to be excited, as you should. I'm not taking that from you. I'm looking at this defense, and I'm going, okay, these guys are all coming back in the second year of the
Cooper can't rush.
Okay. And I got a defense that when Micah Parsons came back last year with a bunch of no names, that actually played well and was third in the NFL in sacks. And I look at some upgrades. Well, you didn't have an offense there. You had Cooper freaking Rush there, bro.
Yeah. So again, like,
and a team that had the second most missed games because of injuries.
I'm just like, bruh. I mean, like, okay. Whatever you need to tell you, whatever you guys need to tell
okay.
you.
Wait. Okay. Wait. Hold it. No. Let's give the argument here. So let me ask you this, Leo. Who's your number 3 wide receiver?
Jahan Dotson.
Okay, so if you put Jahan Dotson, you take away Devontae Smith, and you get Jahan Dotson.
Kenny Pickett.
Number 2. Okay. Who is your third string running back?
Will Shipley.
Okay. Will Shipley's now your running quarterback.
Was Kenny Pickett.
Traded him to Pittsburgh.
Kenny Pickett.
Okay, we'll say Kenny Pickett. Okay.
No, there's this,
if
they
you
got
put
their backup from Cleveland.
Okay, but we'll take Kenny Pickett though. We'll say Kenny Pickett.
And we drafted somebody too.
Okay, and you take your left tackle, take Lane Johnson, and put a rookie out there.
That's right.
How does that team compare to the team that you have right now?
Well,
yeah, we were missing all of them.
Let's look at what you do. Let's take a look at those players and substitute, right? How did we do when Lane went out? Remember when he went out? How well did we do?
Did you have a starting rookie tackle?
He's probably better than Colbert is.
One at a time. He's saying all of them at once.
I'm saying you have Lane Johnson replaced by a rookie tackle. You lose Devontae Smith, and I forgot who you said was your number 2. Jahan Dotson is now
and
your
try
number
and get
2
in
wide
2,000
receiver.
yards.
Okay.
Right.
You end up getting rid of Jalen Hurts for Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Okay. And we get rid of Saquon for
you said for the 3rd string, right?
Right.
Will Shipley.
Okay. Is that team going to the Super Bowl? Is that team as good as what you had right there on offense?
The players were gone. They were hurt.
You're competing. Okay. Then you bring those guys back. Where are you? Your team's a hell of a lot better, right?
We're winning the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Okay. So that in essence is what we're talking about here with the Cowboys.
But what evidence do you have that suggests that will actually happen?
My quarterback was runner-up MVP, had 36 TDs.
We swept them there in the Super
and
Bowl
10
here, too,
interceptions.
20 years.
Okay, so Walker Wade is using the trend that we haven't had a repeat winner of the NFC.
Not to mention last year,
including with teams that have won
beat us
Super Bowls.
Last year, the year before, we swept y'all, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
We swept them there in the Super Bowl year too.
Okay, so y'all swept us this year. So I'm just going by a pattern here. We're going to be competitive with y'all.
Right. Okay. So,
especially week
big
1
facts,
going
Messi.
in.
Let them know. Let them know. Smash that like off of your brother. We'll have a more interactive me with my chat here.
When we've been healthy, it's not like you guys blow us out, bro.
Cowboys go back and forth.
They're division games. Wins, losses, wins, losses.
This is a new era.
Definitely.
Like Mark said, like I was saying, we need to go in there this season with a chip on our shoulder. I'm pretty sure that
Drew, Mark, Dallas Sacks don't
because
top.
This is the first time he ever got a job. No one else wouldn't give him a job.
Yep, that's true.
Head coach. So I believe that he'll go into the season with a chip on his shoulder.
He's got something to prove anyway.
Now,
the lineage he comes from.
What season? What year did you start the season without a chip on your shoulder?
Oh man,
because you guys have had the same chip. Because everyone's been teasing you guys about not having won a Super Bowl in X amount of years every year for at least the past 20 years.
Well, you got to go back before Bill Parcells because Bill Parcells, everybody knew when they built.
I think he was more picked by Stephen Jones.
Right.
When Wade Phillips came in there, he was kind of handpicked by Jerry Jones.
Yep.
Right.
To be a passer.
Jason Garrett was
that was
handpicked
Camp
by Jerry
Cupcake,
Jones.
right?
And Mike McCarthy was handpicked by Jerry Jones.
Right.
Yes, Shawnee was
Red the
handpicked by
Clapper.
Jerry Jones, but he didn't have any prior coaching experience prior to that.
I think he was more picked by Stephen Jones.
I don't think people started talking about the accident waiting to happen until Jason Garrett got a hold of the team and was with us for a while. Because before that, I didn't hear much talk of that.
And I say I don't think that
talk of the Cowboys can't get it done or no, I didn't hear much talk of that. Like
I think that
2007 or 8.
Yeah.
When we were going 8-8 3 years in a row and we could never get in, that's when it started.
That's when they should have fired Jason Garrett.
The Clapper,
was there for too long.
It was 3 years in a row. If we won, we were in the playoffs.
Yep.
And we lost all 3 times.
I'll say this, again, I've given you guys, respectfully your flowers in terms of having, what you guys are doing. I think the activity that I've witnessed thus far this year is actually quality activity. It's the kind of activity that if I were in your position, I would want to see. I mean, again, and I've always said, I don't know what this is going to look like, but damn it, do something. And this year it looks like y'all.
Sir, right now there's 7.
With
Make
that
sure y'all,
being said,
all of y'all smash that like
we're
button.
not the same.
We'll be doing again.
You know what I'm saying?
Some
Our
more
concerns
interactions with
are
me
not
and
the
this
same as yours.
chat
We're not.
once the
We don't
podcast
have
is
culture concerns that we're trying to address. You guys are addressing it. I'm not saying you're devoid of not having addressed it, but that's not the same thing we're going through. You know what I'm saying?
A culture change comes with head coach change.
Coaches, yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
They together.
I'm just, and all I'm saying is, all I'm saying, we're not onboarding all new coaches either. You know what I'm saying? We weren't devoid of talent, such as the way you guys were when it came to last year versus this year. You know what I'm saying? We're adding depth pieces.
There is
you
no
guys
seesaw.
are trying to find starters. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
We don't have a seesaw in the house.
So we're not trying to find as many starters as you are. and we actually have guys.
I think we found some depth pieces. I think we've got some depth pieces that we found.
All right, you gotta get down, dude. All in my
not be finished.
No.
To the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, Darius Slay, but we got guys who are ready to step in who are coming into their third season in the league, second in the same system, and we actually added to that. That's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, again, just in comparison to in terms of where our mindset is versus where your mindset is, your entire training camp is going to be centered around game one.
Full of it. All right, but come on, you can't be right here, everybody. No, you're getting in the way.
No. Isn't yours going to be centered around that?
You're getting in the way,
No, we have to play the game. Listen, you guys are not as important to us as playing the Kansas City Chiefs, as playing the San Diego Chargers. You're not. Are you guys one of the?
That's not true. You start with your division.
Wait a minute. Are you guys one of the playoff teams that we had to play last year?
Maybe.
Listen to yourself.
Now, again,
I'm gonna put you over there.
You're just not that big of a priority.
Your main focus is winning the division.
Yep.
I really hope, Leo, that your coaches on the Eagles and your
boy thinks he's funny. What up, Boast Man? What it do? What it do?
The Cowboys are really beneath us, and we're not worried about them. It's only Kansas City.
All we gotta do is
the coaching staff is worried about the division.
Yeah, you're funny.
That's the main thing. Division and sealing up home field.
I'm not saying that's not the case now.
I'm not being
that you guys are beneath us. I'm not saying that winning the division is not a priority. What I am telling you is that we're not as concerned with you guys as you are with us. We did not build our team to compete with you. You built your team to compete with us. Well, here's built our team to compete for a Super Bowl.
That's what happens.
You guys are trying to exercise some non-playoff demons and lack of playoff wins.
I tell you what, though, Leo, for your sake, Leo, you better not lose that game to the Cowboys, because that could be the psych that screws up your whole season. With you turning around and having to play Kansas City the next week, and then the Rams and Tampa Bay, all of a sudden that onslaught comes in there. And one thing your team does is they are not a fast starter.
Right.
And the Carolina game.
We always start out slow. Look, Mark, let me ask you something. Which was the worst loss in comparison to? Losing to the Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all barely squeaked out of Carolina, too.
Last year. Because remember, you gave us hell. Remember that? Yeah. We shouldn't have lost that game, but y'all went in on us.
Oh, we go in on y'all every time you lose a game.
No.
Not much, O's. What it do, brother? What it do?
Guys this year or losing again?
No, if you lose to us week one,
big contemplation.
Because you guys are a higher caliber team this year.
We're coming off of being an ass team with the new coach. You are the defending Super Bowl champions. If you lose to the Dallas Cowboys, you will be trashed.
Mark,
I don't know.
If we got trashed last year, look what happened.
Okay, Leo.
Leo, I don't know how many checks you just. Leo, I don't know how many checks you just spend, but you better not bounce any one of them. If one of them bounce, you better hide.
Don't let the built yesterday team beat the Super Bowl team.
Don't let us win.
Thomas,
is
it more than last year?
Bounce. Them checks better not bounce. So
is it more than last year?
Yes, it would be more. Yes, yes. If you, Leo, hold it. Leo, if you lose this game where it is literally $700-800 in the nosebleed seats, this may be the biggest regular season game in history. It's your Super Bowl party. It's the Dallas Cowboys that are coming off an ass season.
Don't let the Cowboys, who were built yesterday, beat the Super Bowl defending champ.
That's the biggest embarrassment out there. You better not lose that game. That is knowing that you've got 3 playoff teams ahead of you.
3 more, 108 days.
3 weeks.
We play 7 playoff teams this year.
No, I think you played 10.
10, okay, yeah.
You played 10 games against playoff teams because
and
Washington is twice, of course.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
I just said this in the comments. The slop that Eagles are eating ain't the steak we gonna eat. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Momo
Thomas, don't let me come on and silence you, son.
Eagles slapped 55 on you.
Relax.
And you know what, Momo,
Relax.
you don't deserve to actually have. Listen, grown folks here talking. You even lost to Cooper Rush. Okay, your team lost to Cooper Rush, so I don't want to hear shit from you, Momo. You lost to Cooper Rush.
Just sit down. Momo, you need to be on iodine status.
I'm on my
I think you should sit down too, Leo, because 55 was last year. This is this year.
This is a new year.
It's a new year.
Yeah, that's all he got to do. He just says at 55.
Boy,
you know, there used to be a Club 55 in D.C., strip club.
For any team,
Super Bowl champions need to sit down.
Like that's gonna win every game, every Super Bowl.
I'm sure when he has that, when your coach has that first meeting, he's gonna say, "Last year is last year. This is the new year, fellas." This is not the copy and paste. You can't just copy and paste and the same thing that happened last year. Gonna happen.
No.
You're gonna underestimate the loss of Brandon Graham.
But I am comforted by the fact that we're going in with our defense has a system that they've seen for the second year in a row. We're not going through the same thing that
have you ever heard of this complacency? Your team is going to be overconfident going into that game.
Momo, you need to be on iodine status. Momo, you need to go on iodine status. Just go up in the cut.
Gotta act like we've been here before.
Yeah. So I was you.
We've been to the Super Bowl
They going
twice
ham.
in the last 3 years, and you
I said y'all not used to win.
Okay.
Now used to win. Doesn't matter what y'all won the last.
You're not used to winning.
I don't care about that. I'm saying
it's very difficult for me to take that. Momo, it is difficult to hear that coming from a Sanders fan who just had a good year last year, and then we slapped 55.
I sure am talking my mess. I got
and
the
your
right.
quarterback is about to hit.
I'm doing the same thing you doing, Leo. I'm talking my shit, and you popping your shit. So we both in the same ball.
If Washington reverts back to Washington, it's gonna be fun.
We're not. Look behind me. We are not the same. No.
Actually, we are.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that.
Yeah, once every 10 years.
Come on.
Make an upside down smile.
We got RG3 2.0.
Momo, look behind me.
Except he's more frail than RG3 was.
To Washington, it's gonna be fun.
Momo, yeah, Momo.
Get him, Loyal.
Yep, the Commanders raise their head every once in a while.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, once every 10 years.
I wouldn't talk neither, Mark.
We got RG3.
Why are you talking, Mark?
Why am I talking?
What's good, Nemo? The fishy boys here. Welcome back.
I'll just add this.
Double tap.
Who was the last team in the division to go back-to-back in Super Bowls?
Cowboys.
Yes, there was.
The Cowboys.
1993.
Yeah, Cowboys. Yeah. That was like 33 years ago.
Okay, but who did we face?
And y'all had 33 years and still ain't there. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like we're not the same. What are you doing?
So we won 5 in 30 years.
Hold on.
We won 5 in
let me
the
see if
first
I got
30
this straight.
years.
We won as many Super Bowls in 2 seasons that it took your team. How many years have y'all been in the NFL?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Mark.
I'm just checking.
Yep, you have 5 Super Bowls and we only have 2.
But I know, I forgot. Ours don't count. They don't count. But your world championships do.
Cowboys won 5 Super Bowls in 35 years. It took Philadelphia 60 to get 2.
Right? I turned 50 in February.
Shit's gonna start falling off of you.
And man.
Ding, 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 ding.
I gotta get momentum to get out of the bed.
Momo 55-23. Shut the hell up. We are NFC East daddies.
Okay. Respectful. Okay, hold on. Let me address this mother sucker on here.
Okay.
Watch out.
Are y'all beating the Chiefs this year?
Say what I got to say and get it over with.
Wait. I gotta. Randy, step away.
Everywhere you go, you try to trash me. Stop doing that, Drew. Get a life. Because you a closet Cowboy fan. Because you go on every Cowboy on page. So stop talking about what I do. 55-23. Yes, y'all blew us out. That's old news. No, that's two quarters. That's 2 quarters. And
no, Messi. The Cowboys got 5 Super Bowls.
Shout out to Rodney.
The Cowboys in 1960. That's when the team was born.
So it's and the season
by 95, 35 years, they had 5 Super Bowls.
1 hour, 38 minutes, and 10 seconds from now.
We have taken the last 30 years off.
And
We've
when
taken it off.
Strike zero,
we just ain't had a Super Bowl in the last 30 years.
Okay, so Leo,
but now it's been a total of 60 years.
Let me ask you this,
the
Leo.
Eagles
Who are your San Francisco
only have 2.
49ers?
Oh, man.
Who are
so
our San Francisco
Cowboys were able to get 5 in
We had to face them
years.
4 years in a row.
The Eagles can't say the same.
In the playoffs. Right. And
Who
you
is
lost.
Just because we've taken a 30-year break doesn't mean that it
won
took
2
us
out of
60
the
years to
3
get 5.
championships.
We've had 5 for the last 30
Oh, wait,
years.
you talking about Super Bowls?
I'm talking about in the NFC. I'm talking about the NFC Championship. Who is your San Francisco?
Oh, there's not one.
The Dallas Cowboys.
No, I'm. Wait a minute.
There
The
isn't
Dallas
one.
Cowboys, because the last 5 years we have given you the hardest time of any team in the NFC.
Yeah.
There you go.
The year y'all went to
Outside
the
of the
Super Bowl
Rams.
against Kansas City, we 40-burgered y'all.
The year that Nick Foles won it, we swept them.
Y'all flew straight to the Super Bowl that year, and we laid it on y'all that year.
Is that the year we won or the year we lost?
You lost to Kansas City.
Okay. Okay.
Lost Kansas City in the desert.
Okay.
See,
So
that's what I'm getting to. This is
we swept them.
This
And
is
I'm
what
not
I'm
talking about
getting
Kansas
to.
City. I'm talking about in the NFC. The Cowboys are
Yes.
y'all's obstacle because we are in your division.
Yes,
the answer
Messi.
is
They'll have
Dallas
that
is our
many, but
49ers.
that doesn't mean it took them that long to
because
get
when
it.
y'all play the
Who do you
49ers, you
face?
kick the shit out
How
of them.
long it took us to get
Well,
5 Super
I
Bowls.
saw an interesting
Who do you
take.
face?
It was 35
3
years.
years in a row.
When we are healthy, the Cowboys are the only team.
If
you
it
are
was
not
the
kicking
same
the
for
shit out
Philadelphia,
in the
they would have
NFC.
had
That's
2
true.
in
And you
that
have to
first
admit that.
35 years too, but they didn't. So no,
And
Yeah,
if-
you guys
it's not the
you
same.
guys don't have a San Francisco like we did in the
Now, and
90s.
if another 35 years pass,
No.
No
I'm
one.
just
And
saying,
we're at-
Leo, y'all
or
run through
another
every
30
other
years
NFC
past, and we're at
team besides
90
the
years.
Cowboys.
Actually, you have to think about
we
how the
still would have
90s
only
used to
gotten
be.
5
besides
Super
Eagles
Bowls in the
being
first
ass,
35 years.
You also had a good
Now-
Giants team and a good Commanders
Just
team.
because another length of time
Both
has
of
gone
those
by
two were
doesn't mean it's
juggernauts.
taken us
Yeah.
that long
Bill
to
Cosby
get
Because it was
the ones that
literally
we've had for 30
3
or 60
years in a
years.
row where you had an
That don't
NFC
make sense.
East team in the Super
We
Bowl.
had them before that.
Except for Philly.
Our division is going to be more competitive than people think.
I think so.
Yeah, it's
too.
gonna be.
I think
Yeah,
all
don't
the way
We ain't
across
even
the
talking about
board,
Dak.
I think the
Nemo,
Giants
dummy.
are going to be
Who
good.
said anything about Dak?
The left hands are going to be good. The Eagles
I mean,
are going to be good.
because Leo, y'all killed
Nemo,
the 49ers.
like I said, brother, you'll get to watch a game
yeah, they-
where I
they-
react
they-
to
they-
Dak
Every
Prescott
team in the
playing.
NFC, you
and
have
you'll
literally
understand
just
that I
beat
don't
the
blame
crap out of.
Yeah,
I praise him when he does
here's the
good,
thing, they
and I
put
Y'all
criticize
know
him
the
when he
Rams
shit
put
out
up
of
a
him when
damn
he does
good
bad.
fight. They maybe could have
Yes,
won
they
that game
did.
against y'all.
Yeah, they could have ruined our season, yes. But again, San Fran marched Mr. Irrelevant in front of a bunch of goons. That was not supposed
Half
to.
the players was out, Leo. What the hell you talking about? They was
Yes,
hurt.
yes, Messi.
I
The last
just-
25,
I
30
just
years were a
said
disgrace.
That
Absolutely.
they put Mr. Irrelevant.
Now, the Super Bowl
in
era
front
was
of a
born
bunch
in
of
66.
They're not
So
good.
technically,
Yeah,
if
they
you want to
that
take
happened.
6 of
The
those
only
years
thing
off
that
of that
They were
35,
threatening, Mark.
we technically
Momo,
got
they were
5
getting
Super
ready to
Bowls
break
in
the- they were
29
threatening
years.
to break the record for sacks.
Technically,
That
we
was
got
a
5
goon
Super Bowls
squad.
in 29 years
and
because the
that
Super
season
Bowl era
was a
didn't
bunch of
start
goons.
until
I think the Cowboys were
1966.
the
I'm
only
counting
team
it from
that
the
beat y'all
Cowboys being
soundly one
1960.
Yeah,
But
and
technically,
it
you could
didn't,
take
but we
another
still went to the Super
6
Bowl.
years
I
off
understand.
of
What I'm
that
trying to
because the
tell
Super
you
Bowl
is
era
you're saying
didn't really
who's your
start
49ers?
until
It's the Dallas
1966.
Yeah, Troy told me
So
that. Troy just said
technically,
it.
the Cowboys have 5
Yeah,
in
from the
29
90s.
years.
Yeah, I get it.
Technically. To be completely correct.
No, present day. No, present day we give you props. Present day we give
No, it sounds like Osman, he accepts it. He understands it.
Okay.
Yeah, we've sucked for the last 30 years as far as the playoffs have been concerned. Yes.
And the
regular season, we haven't sucked for 30 years. We've been competitive for the last 30 years. We just haven't been really competitive.
And what you're
when
telling
it counts
me
most,
is,
which is
that
in the playoffs.
We better not lose.
But we'll see how things change as the culture in Dallas is changing.
If we do, you know what I'm saying? Then
Baltimore literally
we're not going to hear the end of it until we have another chance.
You
which
literally
is
have our backup now.
Right?
Well, now, the way everybody is going through, like, there's no chance in hell that the Cowboys can win. Because I'm hearing people say, well, they could start out 1-3. You know, and just basically look past the Cowboys and say you could lose to Kansas City, the Rams, and Tampa Bay.
Come on, Mark. Listen, I get it. I hear y'all, but Mark.
And hopefully the next 35 will be better, or the next 30.
The Super Bowl thing that day in Philadelphia, and it's y'all at the link, like.
The Giants were lifting the trophy in New York, and the Cowboys were there too.
Say that again?
Leo, I would like
the Giants were lifting the trophy in New York, and the Cowboys. I was there. I was there, Leo.
You're literally acting like the Cowboys haven't beaten y'all lately.
No.
It's just a measuring stick for Dallas.
Like,
I will, Jimbo.
The first game is the home opener. We're raising our Super Bowl banners to the rafters.
Technically, as the Cowboys go, this would be considered a measuring stick.
Like you. I don't know if you guys
don't let us
understand the magnitude of what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
I would not be surprised if y'all won. I would also not be surprised if the Cowboys win.
Emo, your quarterback hasn't done that great either. Tell him to go win one.
You and Mark witnessed with your own.
You ain't seen a Super Bowl in your era.
Actually, shout out to Hingsburg.
In any championship,
Ray Lewis was before your time.
And they got the championship banner. They normally lose that game.
Now, let me put another one out here for you, because September 4th, shout out to Hellsberg, who reminded me of this. That's Dak Prescott's mother's birthday.
Mine too.
So, listen,
you talk about motivating.
Whatever motivation y'all need, y'all gonna get all the motivation y'all gonna need, because you're gonna need it.
You realize that was 12 years ago, Nemo. How old are you?
That was last year, bro. I saw San Francisco's the year before go all the way to the Super Bowl and crash and burn.
You didn't go to that game. You were at the we went into
with Cooper Rush,
and you saw
with Cooper Rush
did to you.
With Cooper Rush.
Okay.
Leo, the Cowboys and Eagles are used to playing against each other. I don't think the players are much worried about playing in the division.
I don't think so.
So yeah, so you were 3 years old
I think we're going to
and not fully understanding what football was
if
the last Baltimore Super Bowl.
Splitting the season.
Yeah, you get there's where the comment comes in.
That's about
when
what
reality
really
sets
division
in.
game.
I wouldn't be surprised if we end up splitting with the Commanders, because we always split with the Commanders. They always have something on us. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Commanders are like Green Bay to y'all.
No, they're like when you step on dog shit and you get it
You
stuck
can
in
only
your
Messi,
shoes.
but you can only say that as far as playoffs are concerned.
You're walking
The
around and
Cowboys
it
have
stinks.
been to the playoffs, so we ain't been like. There's been teams that were way worse than us. These last 25, 30 years, there's definitely been teams that were way worse than us. Have we reached our potential? Hell,
my disappointment with playing you guys
have we
for
been
the
soft
first
as hell
game
and predictable?
is that I could
Hell
think
yeah.
of a couple of other
Have my team
teams
been
that would make
bad
a
some
better
years? Yeah.
first game
But most
than the
times
Dallas
the team is
Cowboys.
competitive no matter what.
I would really like to see us play Washington the first game. I would like to see
I
us
will
open up against
disrespect your
Kansas
team.
City.
We're in the water with the fish
Detroit. That would be a good first game.
Nobody wanted to see that.
And see, your downfall is right there. I could see us having a better game. See that arrogance and all that.
I said not having I can think of a better game.
So you wanted to
play
big facts, man.
You wanted to play Washington, the team you just blew out the last time.
Right, because I listened
so you can win easier.
The Cowboys, Eagles.
Reginald Johnson, Cooper Rush does not beat the Eagles, bro. Okay, let's be clear here.
The what ifs.
Cooper Rush has not beaten the Eagles. Cooper Rush's games against the Eagles.
I don't look, bro.
Big facts, man. Big facts.
In his first start with 1 TD.
Look,
the second time he started,
I seen on Dak Prescott was
no TDs, no interceptions. So don't come in here and talk some stupid.
If you want to use the overrated
Cooper
term,
Rush
yes,
literally has
and a
been
lot of that is due to the
media.
The media puts
2
us out
TD
there
passes
like more than
and 5 interceptions in 3 games that were 3
media,
losses. So what crack are you smoking, bro? What crack are you smoking?
You talking to me?
No, so this guy here, he's like, you act like Cooper Rush ain't beat us before. Bro.
Yeah, you the only Philadelphia Eagle fan on this panel. Yeah, we talking to your crack smoking ass. Oh,
Nemo, you're on a Cowboys channel, brother.
This is where I jump off the train because y'all start sounding like a bunch of dun-dun-dun-duns.
Da-dun-da-dun to you. Da-dun-da-dun. Da-dun-da-dun.
Right now, all I'm saying is I would have again.
What up, Jenkins? What's good?
And I was trying
what
to
it do?
with Derek is just that based off of all of the what ifs from last year, I just thought Kansas City, even Washington or Detroit would have been a better game for me. You know what I'm saying? Not putting anything against, not saying anything against the Cowboys. It's just that like we always play y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay, well you always play Washington, so. The Cowboys have had. For all the teams in our division, I believe the Cowboys have had more success against you. That's a better measuring stick.
But my reasoning for Washington was because of all the things that I hear Washington Commander fans saying about Jaden Daniels and the fact that we just played them in the NFC Championship game. My reasoning for saying Detroit is because of all the things that the what ifs that I heard about Detroit. My reasoning for saying Kansas City, we got the week 2, but from a home opener, that would have been a real nice little, mud in your eye because we just played them in the Super Bowl.
Okay. In other words, the Cowboys aren't worthy enough to be able to play you. It's a letdown for you to have to face the lowly Cowboys that weren't in the playoffs last year.
Hell yeah, that's dope, Jenkins. That's dope.
Wow.
Yes, because and then
I think you're delusional, Nemo.
The fact that look at the last bit of film.
Because I'm far from delusional.
Last year, before he went down,
I see the reality.
It wasn't like he was burnt. It's not like he was tearing up the league when he went out.
I understand how things go
before he even got
and how
hurt.
things have been.
Oh my God.
I've been around for it.
We were rushing 51 yards in a game. 51 yards. 2 rookie offensive linemen. No second wide receiver. A defense that literally
lonely little fish.
Team off the
lonely
field.
Little fish.
And the only thing you're gonna say is, well, Dak wasn't doing shit. Nobody was doing shit on that team, bro.
Bro, again, with your
more than 3 good players.
Oh my God.
3 good players.
If a team, okay, you know what? If a team signed
not to mention, we've got 3 good players coming off of injury this year.
I will say this, Leo. If Dak does play I will say this: with all the additions we've had, if Dak plays suspect the first 6-7 games, then I'm gonna have to agree with you, Leo. I'm gonna have to agree with you, and he's falling off.
I'm just Walker.
Especially with the 2 wide receivers we got. If Dak is playing suspect in 7 weeks into the season, we got problems. We got big problems.
Walker. I'm just saying I would have been more excited for the first game with us lifting the banners and the rafters, playing those other teams than the Dallas Cowboys. Now, don't get me wrong. I do take some solace in the fact that
you all see the big video
in your eyes that you guys have to sit there and watch us.
Hell yeah, I ain't seen which been one workout video.
But you can't look and say Cooper Rush
is
a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, Nemo needs to hop in on YouTube.
Says Cooper Rush is a top 5 quarterback.
I'm putting the screen up like this so that you can see him, Messi.
Okay.
Let me get the chat up there.
Backup.
You guys aren't even America's team anymore. Nobody cares about you.
Apparently somebody does, because this already. When was the last time you saw upper level standing room only seats for $500 at your stadium?
He talking about he watching me with his fishy eyes.
I don't think so.
He be watching me with his fishy eyes.
This is going to be the biggest non-Super Bowl game watched ever.
Mark, who has more primetime games?
Mark, I'm sorry.
It's Dallas Cowboys.
It's not.
Dallas got more primetime.
And here's where see. You know what? I'm going to put it out here.
As excited.
I'm going to give you conspiracy theory. Apparently, the NFL doesn't think the Cowboys are going to be as bad as they. You know why? We saw how bad the Cowboys were as far as a draw last year. After we lost to you, there was talk of taking Cowboys out of prime time. If your team is thinking that they're going to be that bad this year, why would you put them on 4 Thursday night games? Why would you end up having them having the most primetime games in the NFL? And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to
because they won because they were in the.
I feel
that's just
like
the way the schedule's made, man.
To be
because they were in the Super Bowl, they're going to have
one
of the harder
schedules. I don't want to say that I think that Jerry Jones is short on time, but I'm seeing the Cowboys make moves that they don't normally do.
Mark, and I think that's great for you guys. That's what you want to concentrate on. And if the number of primetime games is that important, that's
no. You missed the point. No, listen to what I'm saying. If you're
Nemo,
and you think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to get blown out each one of these games,
they blessed, brother.
Then why the hell are you putting them out there?
If you hopping out, I'm going to take
the fan base.
The fan base checked out.
Yes, sir. You be here for WWE Monday Night Raw, man. Nemo.
Literally, my views
Coming
from December last year versus the year before were cut in half. Cowboy fans weren't going to those games. So Cowboy fans were like, F this team, I'm done.
I'm surprised, Leo,
why,
as much as you are.
Why would the NFL put them on there if they think the Cowboys are going to be that bad?
We got the many games that we have. I'm shocked about that.
On prime time,
I'm
thinking to myself, what the hell? Because we were garbage last year.
No, because you know what that's about? That's about the NFL like this. And the powers that be. They love the Cowboys, no matter they have an old 16.
They didn't last year,
they
bro.
Will always have the Cowboys have more games, prime time, and that. They will definitely have all these prime time games.
The number of prime time games
sounds like America's team to me, but y'all.
Okay, you know what?
And Kansas
guys are American.
They get just as many.
If the prime time,
I want to be the underdog.
Measuring stick, that's fine. I'm more worried.
I agree, Loyal.
You guys can concentrate on the prime time. I'm more worried about getting to the Super Bowl.
I want people to think we're going. I want people to think we're going to suck. I really do. I don't want people.
I'm
I don't
worried
want to
about
go
the
in there
Super Bowl.
as to be the favorites.
Trust me.
I want us to be the team that everyone thinks will get their heads kicked in. That's what I want.
And here's the thing.
Because that'll fire. Hopefully, that'll fire up the players.
I'll say this. Y'all better do good in those 7 or 8 whatever primetime games, because if you don't,
you're gonna get
America will be watching y'all.
We'll get roasted. I'm sure Stephen A's already got his speech prepared, ready to go.
Yep.
You know he does.
So
all those guys are already practicing what they're
so that's a double-edged sword. You got to always look at both sides of that tape.
Hell yeah, Messi.
You think Kansas City should get more primetime games than
the Cowboys play them? We will too.
I don't know.
Are they on the list?
It doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I'm just saying they got a hell of a lot of prime time. I don't think they made their team better.
TV is a business.
Well, considering the way it is, the AFC teams being CBS most of the time and Fox.
They're 2-time defending Super Bowl. They're 2-time.
No, yeah, we don't have Baltimore this year.
Super Bowl champions.
We
played them last year, though.
If your team ain't got better.
The TV is a business. They're not about, that team was great last year, let's put them up. No, it's about who's going to get the higher ratings so I can sell the most for ads.
And again,
you want to.
And again, that's fine. That's all fine. I'm not concerned with that. I don't like the number of primetime games.
Damn.
I don't care less.
Put it on them.
All I care
Put
about
it on them, Messi.
getting to the playoffs and winning. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Those are my main things. I just said
Cowboys are this year. We're gonna be underdogs coming in. The only people that'll probably hype us up will be the damn mainstream media.
I tell you what, Leo. Okay, here I want to give. This is Joe Boo Sports. This is just a thought that I have that nobody has actually talked about
here. That's media.
So I want you to think about this. Now, listen to what the Cowboys have. Now we could lose the first game to you. That's not. I mean, that wouldn't be a surprise. It is on your turf. You are the Super Bowl defending champions. We got a new coach and stuff, right? We of course got to play you. Then we play the Giants. We play the Bears. We play the Packers. Okay. I think the Cowboys should be able to go at least 2-2, right? You got the Jets. You got the Panthers. Then you've got Washington, which a team that Cooper Rush did beat last year. And then you go to Denver, where it's not going to be really, really cold. You got the Cardinals. You got the bye week, and then you got the Raiders. Wait, just listen. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. How many of those games, other than the Eagles, do you look at and say they're just brutal? Right?
You talking about on our schedule, right?
No, that's the Cowboys. That's the first. We play you. Let me go back. Let me still do it again. We play you, then we follow up with the Giants and the Bears. Green Bay will be really tough. But then we have the Jets. We got the Panthers. Then we have Washington, which, that's a tough game. We got the Broncos, the Cardinals, our bye week. Hold on. Wait. The bye week, the Raiders, and then the Eagles. The Eagles, before they play the Cowboys, let's go through what you got to go through.
You talking about before week 12?
Before week 12. Okay, right. You got to play us.
Brutal.
Then you got to get beat down by the Chiefs. You got to play the Rams, the Buccaneers, Denver. Then you get a bye week with the Giants. But then you got to turn around against the Vikings, the Giants, the Packers.
Oh yeah, the referees will help them make their division.
Travel to Dallas. You guys,
got Chargers or Denver. I hear you, Host Man.
By the time you come back around to Dallas,
take another look at that schedule too, Mark.
What's that?
Nemo back.
Look at how many of those games are we going to be coming off of mini buys.
Well, Messi said he was going to belt to ass them.
So that don't mean nothing.
Ravens.
Okay, but what I'm saying is
put your Ravens in the fish tank with your ass.
Row to start out.
Leave them swimming with the fishes.
You're playing the Lions before you play the Cowboys. We are coming off a bye week, playing the Raiders, and then playing you. That's a little bit of, and that's an advantage for the Cowboys right there.
Yeah,
we're not getting beat the hell up. Now, from that point on, it's hell for the Cowboys.
Now, wouldn't it be answer me this, and this is for all of y'all. Would you at least would you agree that it would be a very Cowboy-like thing to fuck that up?
Oh, I mean, anything could happen. What I'm saying is
yes or no. Wouldn't that be a very Cowboy-like thing?
Chicago is unproven.
You just don't know.
But Chicago is unproven. They're building.
The Denver Broncos, because Denver's a better team.
The Broncos I could give you. The Broncos I could give you only because we weirdly struggle with them even when they're bad teams.
Oh, hell, nah, bro. I'm not.
Chicago is unproven. They're building.
Sorry. Okay. Point being, Momo, you're missing. The point of that. I'm saying every up or shut up for the Eagles except for 2 games, and that's the 2 Giant games. Every one of the other games between the playoff team, home away.
Mike back on.
That is going to beat them down, and understand that they're coming off
Mike back on
season, the shortest off
should be good now
because they played in the Super Bowl.
I don't know what happened.
So what I'm saying is, by the time they get to us, they may be half worn out. We got a bye week, the Raiders, and then the Eagles. They got the Packers while we're on the bye week, followed up by the Lions, and then us in Dallas. If you don't look at that and say that's not harder than us having a bye week and then the Raiders, bro, I'm sorry. I look at that and say, if you can figure out a way to win that one, you're playing with house money.
And he looks good in that last film.
Would be the thing that would ultimately win the respect factor
now,
for you.
And also put into this, by that point, you're probably getting back Overshown and Diggs.
In the middle of the season.
I wouldn't brag about Diggs too much more.
It's still another body that's experienced.
Okay.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
Momo calling out the herpes again.
Fishies are built for disrespect. They were built for it.
Okay, fine. He could cover everybody over the field. Okay, fine.
Okay.
I mean,
you know what?
their whole life,
him over
they got somebody trying to drown their ass.
Okay.
Okay. What about the other kid? What's about the other kid?
Overshown?
I thought he was good too.
You got to get your ass back on YouTube, Nemo.
I know you're not talking about defense, which is bad as your defense is right now.
I'm not. But I'm asking about what's the other kid name who broke the record for most pick sixes? What's his name?
Deron Bland.
So is he so you got him, right?
We got him, yes. He's a pick man. And here's the thing that's funny to me. No. Here's the thing that's funny to me, because sometimes you need guys that have a specialty. And you want to be able to exploit him. That is a guy, Deron Bland, who is always around the ball making plays.
Yep.
So it's up to my job to find some other guys that can be a shutdown corner so he can be out here being a center fielder. That's the kind of things. So you
cover receivers man for man. Right?
She ain't got YouTube on her phone, Nemo.
Use a person's talents.
Right.
So your mom ain't got YouTube on her phone?
I'm going to give you one here, Momo. Because, see, you have the greatest person who understands using the talent that they have.
Take your ass to Walmart and get you a
and that was Joe Gibbs.
$40
Joe
phone,
Gibbs
pay
came
here,
from
buy
Air
here,
Coryell,
just use it on Wi-Fi.
which was like the first modern offense. We're slinging the ball down the field. Screw the running back.
Yeah, I got you,
He came to Washington and didn't have that kind of quarterback. And didn't have that kind of running back. And he came up and said, well, I got a bruising running back. I got some big offensive linemen. And came up with the H-back and the one-back offense and rode that shit to 3 Super Bowls. That was taking the talent that you have and saying, here's a guy who does something great. I'm going to maximize
Don't make me John Cena crash the
and
fuck
work
out.
my system around the players
Get
that
my
I have.
title belts out.
The problem with the Cowboys with Jason Garrett was he'd always say, that's not how we do things around here. They had a guy like Rico Gathers, who was a tight end, who could jump out the building. He was slender. He could run like a freaking gazelle. Well, that's great. We understand that you can do that, but we want you to put on weight and be able to block. Once he put on the weight, he could no longer run, jump, or anything else, and he wasn't a great blocker. That's the guy you say, okay, we got 15 plays for you where you're going to be in the corner of the end zone to jump up and get the damn football.
Hey, no, you can call the pan too because they were sitting on the couch.
You go through and say, well, he may be great doing that, but screw that. He has to do this. That's the crap that the Joneses have been doing with players. We get a guy that does something really good and say, well, we know you were great on the right side, but we're going to make you a left tackle. What the fuck are you doing? If you're already great at doing it on the right, why am I changing you to the left? Let me take you, do what you do great, and I'll find somebody that needs to be over there. Stop being a mad scientist.
I believe it. I believe it, Oaks, man. I believe it, brother. A-Rod probably is.
They did that.
As in Aaron Rodgers, not A-Rod.
And constantly keep doing that to players.
No, well, how you blame that on Dak?
I don't think that's a thing.
I'm just asking.
Yeah,
no, okay.
I don't think.
All right. See, for example, they took Tyler Guyton, who was a right tackle in college, only had like 13 starts in his career. You get drafted, okay, we're going to take you from the right side, we're going to put you at left tackle, and now you got to get used to the speed of the NFL and reverse everything that you've learned in the only 13 games you had. You're going to create a problem. Now, Cooper Beebe had only played center 2 or 3 games before he became the Cowboys center. He had been basically
Cooper Beebe also put in the work.
Now, that one worked out. But they did the same thing with Lyle Collins. They took him from being a great guard to say you're going to be a tackle, and you
no Super Bowl victories whatsoever.
It's the best thing to do.
True.
It worked out with Micah Parsons.
You ain't got a Super Bowl
edge rusher. But you keep going through. And say,
I don't care how dusty mine are.
Stop the run, bro. How many people can do what the hell he does?
Are still better than no Super Bowls.
Not a lot.
Well, it all depends on these new rules they're supposed to come out with.
I wish they would just use the old rules, like holding that happens to him at least 3 or 4 times a game. How about that one?
Well, we'll
6
see
and
what
11.
happens, because when we go in these new rules, they might say have stupid rule. Hey, you cannot tackle the wide receiver anymore. Probably do that bullshit.
I just want you to know that there's no R in Washington.
Okay, I got you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, here's one for you, Leo. You got 31 other teams that are gunning.
I dare your ass, Nemo. I'll go stick my hand in the water right now. Grab you
Say
out,
that to
flush
someone
you down
who
the
doesn't
toilet.
know what it's like to have won a Super Bowl.
Show you what the shit really looks like.
It's not like we didn't have that.
We've been going on for over 2 hours now. It's time to end this shit, okay?
Oh, just 2 hours? Man, we got at least
we got at least 2 more hours to go.
I ain't gonna lie, this is the fastest 2 hours I've been a part of. Well, really,
Get out of the way so I
I'm gonna stick by my guns and go 10 and 7 at best. I'm not gonna over hype us.
I see 9 wins for the Cowboys.
10 and 7 at our best.
I'm going 12.
I see 7 or 8 wins for the Eagles. Best.
Say what, Momo? What did you just say?
Yeah, it's a workout.
What did you say?
How do you do it? I do this.
7 or 8 wins at best.
For who? The Cowboys?
No, you
Oh, my God.
how do you use that?
Y'all got a
How do you use that?
Momo, listen to me very carefully, bro. It's very when you say stuff like that, it makes it more difficult to take
Nemo, don't make me do it, Nemo. Don't make me do it.
Because he's gonna have to throw the ball more.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm shocked that we even won 7 games last year with what we had.
But you know what, though? We were.
I'll dump the whole ass bowl of water in there.
No, 28-25. We almost beat Baltimore. We almost beat Cincinnati.
I don't know when. You have to find the paper for it again.
Anyway, we gonna get up out of here.
Cowboys' record will be 10 wins at minimum.
I appreciate
10
everybody
wins at
being
minimum.
here.
I don't have a prediction yet.
Mark, just so you know, I'm thinking more like 12 and 5, 13 and 4.
There is somewhere. I don't know where it went.
With all that,
I don't know.
Yeah.
all right, we getting out of here, everybody. Hold on, we're turning out the lights on.
There was been a 30% changeover. See you later, Loyal.
Remember what we did to Kansas City.
That was last year. This is this year.
That was 4 months ago.
Because I read it once and then let it go.
You just rolled around your waist. Dad, get out of the way, Micah! Get out of the way! You can't use it!
Dude, stop yelling.
You can't use it!
Neither can you.
No, get out of the way!
Dude, stop yelling at
Tell him
me.
to get out of the way!
You go somewhere else and do it.
I can't! He's following me!
Cowboys got 5 in 29 years. It took Philly 60 years to get 2 Super Bowls. Cowboys were able to do it in 29 years, and we got 5. Call Mama, Abby. Because she's trying to call me. She must be getting off of work. I don't know.
Let me untie it.
and stealing. Viva la raza! Yeah, viva la raza!
I'm gonna do this outside. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Give me a call her. Why can't you call her?
Yeah, I'd rather have dusty ones though. Hey, Shroom, it's better to have dusty trophies than to have no trophies. And if you think that they're getting dusty, you out your mind. They got people cleaning them 24/7. Spit shine, baby. Come on now. You still gotta build your trophy case. You still gotta build your trophy case, Shroom. You might want to hire a cowboy to do it, because we know what they look like.
Why'd you call Dad? Where's your text messages, Dad?
Because they be... I don't know where it is. Go. Went and took it outside. Let's go play with it.
Dad, read her text right
Dude, go. Micah, you need to stop. Witten doesn't want you to play because you're not doing it right. You're being bad. Yeah, see? Instant karma. Instant karma. I did, and I already answered her. There's only one text message. Here, then go play with it.
What did it say?
Good grief. That boy being annoying just because his big brother wouldn't let him play with a toy.
Where is Micah?
With Witten. Hell no. You saying Philly fans are that bad? I'd rather watch it on my TV than pay $500 to the link. All right. I'm leaving the Zoom call meeting. All right. So now it's just us, chat. It's just us. I know that the screen time ended on it earlier than the actual call did, because they're actually still going on, but they shut the stream down. It's kind of a backstage conversation, which you guys can't see because I'm reacting to it still and talking with them still, but you guys aren't able to actually see it. NBA? You talking about NBA, Nemo? I don't stream NBA. Man, I'm not gonna stream something that I don't have a lot of knowledge in.
Gotta know how you do it. So when it spins around, you spin around with it on that way.
Okay, it's not just a spin around; it's a hand-eye thing. You're supposed to catch it too.
That's why.
But what's your brother doing?
He's trying to
Don't let him go anywhere near the cul-de-sac. He needs to stay within the yard.
do this. I don't want to do it.
He wants to play with you. Gianna? Feel about Gianna's leaving? I don't know. Nemo, what you feel about Gianna's leaving? Let me put the chat on the screen for you. No, I mean, if I streamed NBA basketball, I would. I just don't want to only stream the NBA finals, and I don't really have like a lot of knowledge on it. So I'm not gonna. I go on there sounding like a dummy. I ain't trying to go on there and sound like a dummy streaming something that I don't, I ain't got enough knowledge in. I don't want to just stream it just to stream it. I'm gonna throw the old Fortnite up here for the ending of the show. Then we'll still communicate and talk about it about show. Green, bam. Carnage! Hey, Shroom doesn't talk shit about America. Many foreigners don't talk shit about America. Now, there may be people over there that do. Curry getting Andrew sadly might have limited him from the GOAT conversation. Why, you think it's his last year, Messi? If it ain't his last year, then it really shouldn't impact him a whole lot. Unless you think he's retiring. I don't know about more rings than MJ. That'd be kind of wild. I can't hear the audio. I can't hear. There we go. Now I can hear him. Now I'm probably gonna get that. I ain't got no weapons. They already got a spaceship. God damn, I knew that was gonna end bad. Yeah, you found Nemo. You found Nemo, didn't you? Yeah. Alright, I wish Nemo could come into YouTube so that he could actually talk, but I'm gonna take the chat off the screen for the one time. Yeah, put this up here. Try to make it a little bigger and better. A little bigger and better. A little bigger and better. I wish I could do like an overlay of the chat that didn't have a background so that it's still, maybe I can. Yeah! Looky here. What we got now? Now you can still see Messi and Carnage talking. Bro, what? My shit was lagging right then. Gotta exit off of some shit. Close window. Alright. Take that one down. Alright, so that should make it a little better. You need to stop playing with yourself. Placing 94. That's insane. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I landed like without watching. I was landing and wasn't paying attention because I was trying to get the stream on. Should be different this next time. The boat took me off. You know, you're foolish. Foolish, bro. Super foolish.
Let me check some. Please don't check for me until the check come. He asked me what's my horoscope. I said a dollar sign.
I wonder if it'll switch my weapon like. Your shoes are right there on the floor. Alright, now we should have a better match.
You put it on. You put it on. You put
Since I got the computer upgrade, Nemo.
You put it on, Daddy.
1 second. Let me land. Let me land, and then I'll put them on you.
You put it on, Daddy.
You just get better and better. Will you put those on your brother? Those Crocs on his feet, Witten. Can you put those Crocs on his feet?
Let me give you.
Alright, dude, chill. It ain't all like that. All you're doing is spinning in circles.
Yeah, but he me dizzy. No, Bobby. Daddy. Try to put that shoes in my mouth, not Dad. Here you go, Bobby. 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 I don't need something now. I'm doing something.
I asked you to put those on for your brother, dude. Dude. Why are you crying like that, Micah?
You should start learning how to be your own channel, Micah.
You should start listening to what I tell you.
Well, you should start going on the shoes yourself.
Alright, and when you started, what were you?
4.
Liar.
3.
I don't even know, but he's probably lying still.
2.
Hell no.
1.
If you were lucky. I don't
0.
think so, though, Mr. Stucky.
0.
Chase his ass down and take his life. Yeah, now you gotta join a new fight. Yeah.
2, 4. 3, 2, 3, charger. I'm not even using it. Where is it, bro? I don't know. Mom has it. She probably brings it to work. No, she doesn't bring her phone to work. Sure, she does. She does. But she uses the car. Oh no, actually it's upstairs. That's upstairs. Hey, I'm not going up there. Do you like my card? Do you like my card? Okay. Okay. Get over here. Let's shop for something, my God. First, let me shop. You're gonna be the counter. The counter guy is right here. He's gonna stand up right here. Stand right here. You're gonna be the scanner guy. I'm going into the store. What do I want to get?
I pray Toronto makes it to the finals. The Raptors?
I want to get this. I want to get this. Whoa. This.
Come on, boy, get off of me.
Okay, that's all the stuff I want. Let's scan this.
Mug thought he was killing me. Come on, Mug. You ain't getting me like that.
Tell me how much.
I got some of my shield. Keep your damn dreams missing. The Warriors are going. Oh, did someone just shoot? That lightning in the game.
$8, $4, $5. I just saw someone $7, $9. Yes, $10. Okay, this time you're gonna do this. I'm gonna go put this stuff back. Hey!
My God, wait.
It's not locked. Come in. Go. Now you get all the stuff. Now you go get the shopping cart. I'll be the sewer guy, okay? Please just shopping cart. Get the shopping cart.
No car? Damn.
Okay.
People taking all the damn cars. Trying to show y'all my new SUV. Looks like I'll get two up here at the gas station. As long as they don't try gang rape me at the gas station.
I'm getting that Darth Vader AI no matter what.
Oh, there's somebody up there.
Up where? Darth Vader AI?
No.
Have you ever got the Darth Vader AI? I feel like it's cheating, but it's kind of cool.
I had the Chewbacca AI.
Wait, how?
You go to the, like I told you. I had Chewbacca AI the last stream. He was my character. He rode around with me. They do talk to you, and then they help protect you. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to what I didn't read what he actually said. Y'all like the new whip? Pretty fast. It actually matches the Porsche that I have too. Look at I do flips and everything. Unintentional flip.
Put it on the back of my phone. Put it back.
Oh, motherfucker got me. Lame ass Juice WRLD, man. Tell his ass to stay in the dirt.
That's what I got, guys.
Tell his ass to stay in the dirt. Did it to himself. Stay in the dirt. What it is, yo. I don't know, man. I don't know that he's gonna get more rings than I'm doing solos. Not while I'm doing this. I'm doing solos. We'll see. No, yeah, we'll probably be only doing like 2 matches on the stream, or 3, and then I'll be getting off the stream. Well, the stream was really about football. I just threw the couple matches on here at the end here to have some time with the chat. We can build it up where it at. What up, Dylan? What's good, brother? Where you been? Where you been? My Bears have a tough schedule, including your Cowboys. Well, exactly. What's it, week 1? We'll pop it up. We'll pop it up. So yeah, we week 3. Week 3, brother. We'll see you week 3, Dylan. Make sure you're here, brother. Make sure you're here. I hold no excuses. Win, loss, or draw, your ass better be here. What up, Bama Cowboys? What's good, brother? What's good? You coming on at the end of the stream here? Let's get it. Let's get it, chat. Let's get this victory. Sit in the corner for 10 seconds. You time him Dylan out. Come on now, Messi.
Everyone's falling at the mountain. This is so unfair. I'm about to crash out. You ready, Bobby? Oh my god, wait. Yo, oh my god. Bobby? Are you Bobby? Are you serious? It was just water.
Oh, he snipered me. Magic of season. Yeah, bro. We're going to have a good season for sure. What up, Bama? Bro, kind of being on a little crazy. Better. Alright, I'm going to go to the lobby for now. I just want to throw a couple matches on there.
I haven't even done anything yet. Let me get something.
Yeah. Alright.
Stop shooting at me. We're just having fun. Wait, no.
Yeah, Curry is the best 3-point shooter. Or maybe overall shooter.
You mean Steph Curry? Stephen Curry?
That's what I said. I didn't stutter, brother. You don't, stupid ass boy. Y'all going at it, huh? Y'all going at it. That's crazy. Yo, I'm gonna pull up this video here. CD and Pickens are going to be a problem. We got a video of them here together. We're gonna put it on. Micah, you need to get in here. Nobody's outside with you, boy.
I am. It's so sweet. Oh my gosh. This thing keeps giving me stuff.
We're gonna react to this.
It ain't no A, B, none of that. It's one. You look over there, you see one. You look over here, you see another one. So do what you got to do with that.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. I didn't know this was a Rome. Welcome in Rome. See what Rome has to say real quick.
Like I never left. What's up with y'all, man? Happy Sunday.
Back like you never left.
Hope y'all doing well. I am doing phenomenal, all things considered. But I appreciate y'all's support, man. If you're new here and you like the content, do me the biggest favor. Hit the subscribe button. And if you cartel, welcome back. You know your family. Now, and if you want to know how to become cartel, hit the subscribe button and you'll find out. But look, let's talk about George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. You heard that clip? I ain't gonna lie. When I saw this picture yesterday, when I saw the picture, I got super excited. Right? I was like, yo, a new era has begun. Lamb, Pickens, it's going crazy. We already got the best receiver in the league. That's how I feel. That's how I've been feeling. That's what I've been arguing. Argue with your mind. But giving him a running mate, giving him a teammate, giving him a,
what up, Bobby
people
Murphy?
trying to say a Robinson,
What up, brother? What up? What up? What up?
Has been everything. But see, it's not around to his Batman. Y'all heard him.
Make sure your ass is
When we first got George, first of all, before the, let's walk down memory lane. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. When we first got George Pickens, before the trade happened, CeeDee Lamb posted a post.
Y'all need me in the house.
It was a little subtle nod to George Pickens thing he did at a football game. And I was like, oh. What I took from that is, CeeDee Lamb is excited about having Pickens on his team.
Yes.
And then the trade happens and CeeDee Lamb, who doesn't tweet a lot, comes out and says, there's no ego here. To just let everybody know, let the media know, get all that stuff out the way of who's going to get the ball, like the stuff that media would love to do. CeeDee Lamb just nipped that in the bud, like, no, there's no ego here. We're 2-1s. George Pickens gets on the call and says, I don't look at it as a 1A, 1B. I look at it as 2 1s, 2 people. It ain't about if I get the ball more, who gets the ball. It's about winning. CeeDee Lamb said earlier this offseason, I can't do this alone. All that to the side. We knew they was cool. At least we heard they was cool. But seeing the picture yesterday, it really made me think of something. I got to step back and say, why is this significant?
Pickens and Lamb.
And then, I'm not trying to be funny. I've seen, and this, tell me if I'm wrong. Please in the comments, tell me if I'm wrong.
From Rome. No,
I've seen CeeDee Lamb in pictures with his teammates.
That's just his name is Rome.
But he's almost sometimes felt like an independent contractor. He goes and hangs out, like he was hanging out with Micah and Tyler Smith the other day. You know what I'm saying? And Odigizua. So it's not that he's anti-team. But receiver-wise, when have you seen CeeDee Lamb out there with Jalen Tolbert, hanging out with Kevontae Turpin, kicking it with Jonathan Mingo? When have you seen CeeDee Lamb
they give you all kinds
out here embracing the other receivers? Like, yo,
that's what they're supposed to do.
We just seen the offensive line hanging out there today. We seen Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Booker.
I ain't got no issues
still,
with
I don't remember seeing them at the hockey game, kicking it, bonding, becoming a unit.
Everything he does or says, but
the other day on the video, on the long screen, you see Sam Williams kicking it with Micah and interacting and getting cordial, and Osa's there, and the D-line is forming a bond. But you just have never seen.
That's just what I like, though. I like seeing the team participating in activities outside of the locker room together, like building each other up a brothership. That way they're going to know that, hey, when I play for this man, that's my brother. It ain't just my teammate. He ain't just my co-worker. No, that's my brother. I'm playing for it. I'm about to whoop this little kid's ass. Throw my trash can again, little boy.
Come, my baby.
What? You and me.
Yeah.
Want to roll it? Red one. I already closed it, Micah. All right, there we go. Roman on the thing. Come with it. You think everybody's a fake Cowboy fan.
CeeDee Lamb with other players, and I hate to say it, I don't know if there is a bond there. Not a deep bond. You seen Jalen Tolbert with Dak Prescott.
It's not my AI, bro.
All right, I don't care about the AI.
So you're like, your man, throw me the ball. You know, that type of situation. You've never seen it. And I've never seen CeeDee Lamb do this. And why is this significant? Him and George Pickens. The chemistry is already there. The bond is there. It's forming stronger.
You put water in
I think it's Kyler Murray's baseball game, and just bonding and kicking it, publicly showing love to each other.
Just water,
and then
but
you heard the clip. We play the clip again.
To here.
Oh, no, we both won.
It
ain't no A, B, none of that. It's one. You look over there, you see one. You look over here, you see another one. So do what you got to do with
y'all's
that.
in the back that just didn't hear it.
No, he can do it though.
We both won.
Go in the light and look.
It's not forced interaction.
All the way around.
It's not we drafted a player or we signed a player or we traded for a player. Y'all go be close. They rock with each other. Like, they rock with each other.
Baseball's bad.
I was calling the YN Alliance to be funny. If you don't know what YN is, go Google it. I was saying that early, like, because I heard it was cool. I heard that CeeDee Lamb and him had already had conversations and stuff like that. But I'm liking this because this isn't there. Has to be a transition period.
I'm gonna go up on room here. Because CeeDee Lamb and Pickens were already friends. They were already friends. Like, that wasn't a new development. CeeDee Lamb literally picked up Pickens from the airport.
Oh, no, we both won. Yeah. It ain't no A, B, none of that. It's one. You look over there, you see one. You look over here, you see another one. So do what you got to do with that. Oh, no, we both won. Yeah.
We both won. What? For like a minute or two, for like 2 minutes, a minute and 30 seconds, really.
She was a fairy. Yeah.
You just, man, we in the
and it was so wild how many people took a victory lap.
I know how y'all feel about that, but just to be fair to Duke, he will be working, even though it's two different programs. You know, he will be working a little bit with Connor Riley on some few things, but it's not going to be any contractual. So as they all say, mud is easier to get off once it dries. So with Tyler Guyton, he's going to work well in this system, regardless whether he worked with Duke or not, because of his athleticism. He's going to be, hey, like you said, getting upfield is
you just, man, we in the and it was so wild how many people took a victory lap.
I know how y'all feel about that, but just to be fair to Duke, he will be working, even though it's two different programs. You know, he will be working a little bit with Connor Riley on some few things, but it's not going to be any contractual. So as they all say, mud is easier to get off once it dries. So with Tyler Guyton, he's going to work well in this system, regardless whether he worked with Duke or not, because of his athleticism. He's going to be, hey, like you said, getting upfield is
you just, man, we in the and it was so wild how many people took a victory lap.
I know how y'all feel about that, but just to be fair to Duke.
What? Kyle Pitts to the Cowboys and Tyler Smith to the Seahawks? What the fuck? Exactly. That's my thought. Like, why would someone say that? Is this the full video? The Law Nation
so when we start talking about duos and beyond, first and foremost, the Cowboys, when we are start to think about it, CeeDee Lamb basically only had Amari Cooper for about 7 to 8 games, give or take. Now, granted, he got this chance of Pickens, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. They are already together, and they are already making sure that they on the same page. And you guys got to understand that with all of this, this is what the Cowboys need ultimately. And this duo, I'm not saying that this is Shaq and Kobe.
Likes to listen to him
Definitely not going that way. I'm not saying that this is Michael Jordan and Pippen, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski, nor this is a situation whereas you go all the way back and say that this is Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, right? No. This is one of those things whereas we need to see the Cowboys operating with this duo, because what this will open up will be the run game, will be the opportunity also to have your quarterback going crazy. So I do like the chemistry that these guys will bring together, and you're seeing the powerhouse of CeeDee Lamb and my guy George Pickens. Now the argument would be, Cowboy Nation,
going off in my video, bro.
is George Pickens a wide receiver 2, or is he a wide receiver 1B? I love the argument. Why, Law? Because at the end of the day, we're not talking about forcing the ball to a third option or a fourth option or a possible fifth. We talking about literally arguing between a guy that could be your second option, which is your wide receiver 2, or your 1B. And this will elevate the entire room. Granted, everything is not given. You got to earn it. And I do love the aspect that these boys are working together. They are out here at a Kyler Murray event, of course, but this just shows that the chemistry will be there on the field. There's no big eyes, there's no little U's, and I can't wait to see these boys out there on the field. Now, granted, when I look at CeeDee Lamb, I know that he can give you 1,300 to 1,400 yards easily, right? And when targeted, yes, he can be a double-digit touchdown guy. And the same, one can argue for George Pickens, because when you really look back at the tape, the guy can get separation at the top of his route. Oh, and the kinds of calibers of routes that he had to run underneath, Steelers really didn't run that type of offense. So now you get a mixture of that. I love creating this chaotic moment for the opposing teams to stay up late, because still, at the end of the day, if you trying to put your number 1 DB on CeeDee Lamb, that's cool. That's cool. But now Pickens going to eat. Or vice versa. You try to roll coverage, bracket George Pickens, my guy Lamb will eat. It's just that now we block it up front. Everything else will work its way out. I see the chemistry and the continuity and everything. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. Yeah, this is just a photograph. We talking about it. Yes, indeed, this is what we do. DC for life, not for sure. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. So place down below your favorite duos, whether it's Alvin Harper and Michael Irvin, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Put down your favorite duos, or it could be Day-Day and Craig and them. You know how that goes. You know, it can be one of those things where give me your favorite duos, Batman, Superman, all
Scottie
of them.
Pippen was one of the best too.
Down below. And let me know. Craig and Day-Day, baby.
Craig and Day-Day, baby. Hey, shout out to Law Nation. Shout out to
Let's
Law
get it.
Nation.
DC for life, not for short.
Watch that tone, boy. You saying words we don't speak of.
Stop trying to put stuff on me.
Micah, I'm gonna pop your little ass and you'll stop. Those are sissies. Why'd you have me get this, Micah, if your ass ain't eating it? Y'all need to leave that curtain alone. I fixed it. It's like an episode of When Kids Turn to Heathens. What up, Kid Cowboy? What you mean you're not buying the hog? 1 year rental? You talking about with Pickens? Hey, I hope we sign him. And I hope we do it before the season. Or halfway through the season even. Before the end of the season is my real, but But he's gonna. Cook's best season was 600 yards. I could see Lamb and Pickens easily both going for 1,000. This is gonna be a better duo than Lamb and Cooper was, and that was over 1,000 and almost 1,000. So, but I also see it opening up the run game substantially for us. And you got to remember, Pickens has never even had a quarterback that was as good as Dak. Dak's the best QB that Pickens has ever played with, including college. They have the availability for it, especially if they pull triggers. What? Yeah, well, stop messing with your brother.
Nobody hit me.
Well, you better not be hitting your brother.
I didn't try to.
Well, try harder. I don't know if he'll go for 35 mil though. It may be more like 30. I don't know. You know. You don't think either one gets 1,000?
I don't get 1,000 subscribers.
Dude, I'm not talking to you. Stop answering questions.
Well, I don't know what you're saying.
Because I'm not talking to you. So stop answering questions. Too much film. God damn, Charles. He's not taking Lamb's spot. Nah, we need both of them. Only way I see that, I'm not saying that there ain't the potential for that, but Dak would have to be hurt for that to be the happen. He ain't taking his job from a healthy Dak. He will not replace a healthy Dak. And Milton has only had one game in the NFL versus a backup team for the Buffalo Bills. So, I mean, that's kind of it wasn't like he was a big stud in college either. He played decent, but he wasn't a standout.
Me. Come on, Bobby. Hey, fuck, Chris, go and walk with that film. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Oh, shit. Oh, my cat is wet.
There ain't really anything new. We can react to that.
Fans, do we have a problem? No, for real. I repeat. Do we have a problem? Pittsburgh
Shout out AOC, Attack on Cowboys, by the way, for that.
Steelers fans done lost they ever-loving minds. They acting like scorned exes trying to make sure that you don't get no new hugs. What in the artificial intelligence is going on here, man? Let's get right into it. Is our guy George Pickens has not only been on the
Jordan changed the entire league
last week since it's been announced that he's been traded to
the Jordan. You can't take Jordan out the GOAT conversation ever. Jordan will forever be in the NBA GOAT conversation. Not only for his stats, but for what he did to the NBA altogether. Y'all don't remember before Jordan, those damn short-ass shorts that they had to wear all the way up here? Jordan came in, changed that, changed the shoe game up, changed how people played, changed how defenses guarded players. Take your chicken bird cage ass chest on out of my stream.
No, again, Michael, look up recycle. And pants. And shirt.
What's wrong with you, boy? Well, stop taking your fucking clothes off, little boy. Nobody hurt. Nothing.
No, you hurt.
I'm holding your shoulder.
No, you hurt. My heart.
You trying to get daddy in trouble? My camera sees you running around like this. You trying to get your daddy in trouble? That's some messed up shit, boy. You keep your damn clothes on. Went and took his shirt off because it got wet because you dumped the drink on him. You didn't have a reason.
Oh, I hurt. them on the fan. So they can get a little dry. They're dry now. They're dry. Perfect dry.
All right. Sorry about that.
No! Put it right there because you made a mess.
What up, Blue Virus? What's good? What's good? You don't like AOC? I hear you. I hear you.
Dallas Cowboys.
What's the problem you got with AOC?
Boys, and all of a sudden, all of us are finding out about not only is he demonstrative on the field and kind of has some funny tendencies, but apparently he's just this horrible guy. This dude is the boogeyman. He's Freddy Krueger now. And on top of that, people making up.
Which is hilarious because you can't find an off-field issue that George Pickens has had because he doesn't have off-field issues. The man is a stand-up citizen off the field. You're not going to find him in college. You're not going to find him in the NFL for Pittsburgh, and you're not going to find it for the Cowboys. The only issues anybody ever says with Pickens is, yeah, he might grab your face mask. He might do some dumb shit that's immature on the field. Stay out, bro. Not much, Blue Virus. Not much chilling. We do a lot of football talk and WWE on Monday and Fridays. But yeah, man, we always doing some live streams. So man, check us out, hang out with us, hit that sub button. He can be loud. He can be loud. But I mean that's what differentiates him from everybody else.
Fake stuff to get mad at him about. If there was ever a time to embrace our new guy and put all of our predisposed thoughts about this young man to the side, now would be the time. Let's get right into this, man.
No, you're not going outside. It's too late. He's staying inside too. Close my door. Come in and close the door, Micah.
Y'all about to make me crash out up in here. Y'all better leave my YN.
You hate AOC?
Hey,
damn.
Hey,
Jock
this
Rider.
is absolutely.
I don't agree with everything he says. But he's got some entertaining content and some pretty interesting takes. But hey, I just watch it, react to it, give my opinion, my thoughts.
Ridiculous. So Pittsburgh Steelers fans are going out and essentially they're causing a fuss.
No, you're not.
And they got their pitchforks and their torches out. And they trying to run George Pickens not only out of town but out of country, it seems, because all of a sudden just have this huge issue with this kid, even though they were under the belief that they were going to have one of the best dynamic duos in the league. Hell, just a couple weeks ago,
easily one of the best dynamic duos in the league with
they were thinking that as long as they got a quarterback, they were in business because they had two of the best in the league with DK and George. Now all of a sudden, George is gone. He swung up out of that damn jungle, that steel jungle, and he found himself into the palace of the star, and everybody has an issue with the young man. Everybody is taking shots at that star that's placed firmly on the side of his temple now, including going so far as to create fake stories and fake Instagram posts to incite rage about this young man amongst folks, to the point to where this was being posted by, you know, all the big sports media profiles on social media. This was being posted by all those guys over the course of like an hour or two, and then GP came out and kind of made them look foolish. But this was the post. They said George Pickens commenting about the Steelers on Instagram, and they made a fake caption.
Wild, bro.
Part of the problem with trying to get y'all news, and some of y'all be doing this, man. Some of y'all be getting y'all news from Facebook and just reading captions from random sources, and y'all just believe anybody, man. And y'all be coming to my page talking about some. I heard Jerry is stepping down after this season. Y'all just be getting stuff out the clear bleezy, bro. Hey, man, Matthew Lucio, whoever the.
Hey, I've been the one kind of thinking that, hey, Jerry might, because it feels like Jerry might be stepping down. It feels like that's the process that's taking place, in which why the offseason for the Cowboys has felt so much different. It feels like Jerry is not the one taking charge anymore. It feels like Stephen Jones is taking charge, and him also now having that ownership title under his name kind of clarifies that for a lot of us. So, as I don't think Jerry's going to go anywhere, I think he will forever be here till the day he passes. But I think that the decision-making process has come to a place where his kin, his brother, his son has started to take over. I hear you, Blue. Hey, man, you could if you tried hard enough. I bet you could. What it do? One, what's good, brother? Welcome in, brother. Turn AOC off.
The hell this dude is.
Don't like
This
AOC
dude
now
posted
either.
a fake Instagram post from George Pickens that says, "They the cheapest organization. Ain't no stacking year after year. They gonna let them N-words go too soon as it's time. Laughing my A off." Bro, what? George Pickens did not post this. And you can imagine hearing something like this. This has Pittsburgh Steelers fans pissed. This was like along the lines of what DeMarcus Lawrence did when he left the Cowboys this offseason, right? When Cowboys fans were really upset with D-Law.
I mean, that don't even look like his account.
This was pretty much along them lines, except he was kind of attacking the players.
Oh, of course, kid. Of course he does. But as he's getting older now, and the way this offseason has gone, it's different. It's different. And like I said, Stephen Jones never had that ownership title. He was president or vice president of player personnel and chief operating officer. Now his title under his name when they introduce that man is co-owner and chief operating officer. So now he has gained that title. So obviously something's taking place. And all offseason, we didn't see Jerry Jones like we normally see Jerry Jones. We saw Stephen Jones, and then at the press conferences, we would see Jerry. But if it wasn't a press conference, we didn't see Jerry or hear from Jerry on 105.3 The Fan like we normally do. He normally has a weekly show, sometimes two. We didn't get that this offseason. Jerry has seemingly, from what it looks like and feels like, taking a slight step back. I'm not saying that he doesn't have an opinion, that he's not going to be there. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying that he's not making every last call no more. His son is implementing his ways, is what it feels like. I mean, maybe. But this coach, he didn't pick this coach. Stephen Jones picked out Brian Schottenheimer. That was a Stephen Jones hire. All the previous ones, Mike McCarthy, the Clapper, Wade Phillips, those were all picked by Jerry. And then they go, the front office then goes and lets Brian Schottenheimer go and do the interview process for hiring his under coaches and do the process for free agency. Like, we've never had a coach come in with that much freedom, especially a coach that most people don't know nothing about. I agree, and I think my opinion is the only reason why Will McClay is still here is because you got Stephen Jones promising him that role. Because I think that otherwise he would be gone. Because I don't think Stephen Jones wants to run the team the same way his dad did. I don't think that he wants to be the GM. I think that he wants to be the owner and hire a GM. And I think that's where Will McClay is going to, now who just signed a new contract, stay with the Cowboys. QB picked as head coach. No, the QB didn't pick this head coach. Stephen Jones picked the head coach. Stephen Jones was the one that was super impressed by him. Jerry even said it. Jerry even said that Stephen Jones picked it.
Don't touch that like that.
If Shotty had been let go.
Don't touch makeup.
Nobody would have hired him as head coach. I agree, Kid Cowboy. I agree. All right. Y'all are getting to be obnoxious.
No, he's throwing my stuff. Wait, take it away.
Don't get your little brother Addison. He's 3.
Just because wait, why do you get it? Yeah.
Another water bottle ready.
Where are they? Witten? God, Witten. You just. Why is everything my fault? Addison's saying everything's my fault. She's saying the makeup's my fault. She's saying everything's my fault. Away from him, bro. Because I didn't want to.
Well, you're not being helpful then, are you?
I can't. Yes, you could. I'm doing something.
This coach is different, man. The players are talking differently about this coach. The players are talking about running through walls for this coach. They ain't never said that about Mike McCarthy. They ain't. All right, Oats, man, you stay blessed, brother. I think the relationships and the chemistry and culture that this coach is implementing and building will be different. I think it'll be different. And it's going to look different. Hopefully it's in a good manner. I'm getting it, bro. You need to chill your little ass out and stop being a bad boy. I don't care what you want. You throwing stuff that ain't yours, get your ass whooped. And your ass will get whooped. I said I was going to get it. You going to yell at me again? Huh? Huh? You going to keep yelling? Man, you calm your ass down. I'm getting it.
No, we're getting it. Shut up. Shut up.
Addison.
Where's my phone at?
You need to go get a shower, Wendy.
I need to find my phone first.
Huh?
I need to find my phone first. Where did I put it in?
There's your chocolate milk.
My cabbage.
There. All right. What up, James? What's good? What's good? Yeah, Daddy daycare for sure. Definitely. No, I don't know what you did with your phone. I don't keep track of everything you do with your phone. But you had to put it somewhere. It reminds me of Dan Quinn, but offensive style. No, I mean, but I don't, Kid Cowboy, I don't say this every year. All right, get your bird chest out of my phone. It's not here. No, last time it was on vibrate. You had to listen for the
Wait, Bluetooth was on that. Wait, does Bluetooth have to be on?
No, Wi-Fi has to be on.
Wi-Fi was on.
I miss those days. I had 2 daughters and a college. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Yeah, I got a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old who will be 9 next week, and then I got a 12-year-old. Not you. Hold on 1 second. Let me call it again and see if.
You hear it? Is that your phone? That's my phone?
Oh, that's my phone ringing on speakerphone. You probably buried it.
In my backpack? No, it's not there. I know it's not.
Look under the couch. You ain't even looking for it. You're standing in one spot. It's over here.
Wait, it is? How did it get there?
I don't know, but if you actually looked for it, you probably would have found it. Oh, we'll put it on the table next to you still. Alright, there we go. Sorry, guys. 20-year, bro. No offense. It's sickening. What do you mean 20 years?
With Pittsburgh as well on this post, allegedly. But then George Pickens came out and he actually posted a damn Instagram story on his real page. He said, I'm literally on a plane right now. Posted a picture of him on a plane. No service. Just landed and seen straight lies from Pittsburgh fans. Stop with AI trying to make a story. I'm happy for everything the Steel City did for me. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Love, GP with the blue heart. Hey, man, this is out of control, bruh. This is what I'm talking about. This is that star tax, y'all.
Yeah,
this is that star tax. And this is why we as Cowboys
I hear you, bro.
fans,
What up,
we
Uncle
cannot
Charles? Salute to
afford
Ryals.
be
What's
walking
good?
around out here feeling sorry for ourselves because we are constantly under attack, even to the point to where people are fabricating stories.
I appreciate you tapping in, though, bro. Appreciate you tapping
by all
in.
accounts, George Pickens has been a professional since he's been here. He's been a professional. When asked about the Steelers, in fact, all of the beat reporters made it a point to say that, hey, George Pickens had no negative words to say about the Steelers on our 2.5-hour-long conference call, whatever it was. They had a conference call with that young man, and he had nothing negative. So I don't know if it's 2.5. I might be capping just I might be capping a little bit. Y'all know I got my shiesty on. I might be capping a little bit.
25
but
years, ain't it? If you're considering
he had
Romo
nothing to say
and
about
Dak.
them, bro. And he's been nothing but gracious to the Steelers organization. And even the Steelers themselves have come out and said, their GM has already come out and said that he never even requested to be traded, bro. So why is it all of a sudden, not only is everybody trying to point out all of this young man's flaws, but they're trying to create new flaws for them to point out. This is sad, bro. But you know what? Just like everybody else on this Cowboys team, I feel it, y'all. I feel it in my body. I feel it in my body. Something is brewing. And just like everybody else, and just like CD Lamb said, he said, I kid you not, I can't express it enough. It's no ego here. Just like everybody else, and George Pickens, he said, there's no he gets the ball, I get the ball. We're working off each other. That's why I always come back to building a winning culture.
That's what I like to
That's
hear.
what we've been talking about in Dallas.
Appreciate you.
These boys
Appreciate
are
you,
all
Uncle
focused
Charles.
on winning from top to bottom, from the coaching staff to the trainers to the people in the
years.
building,
Yeah.
the nutritionists, all
You
those
ain't
people,
lying.
man.
You
Shotty
ain't
had
lying.
all them people in a meeting
But
and making sure he's
that's not
touching base with
solely on
everyone
those
in
two
that building, letting them know, hey, man, we're trying
A
to
lot of
build
that
a
has to do
championship
with
program
coaching,
here. And that's
chemistry
all
on the
George
team,
Pickens
the
needs to
culture
be worried
the
about.
team
GP,
is a win
you stay being a
as-
professional,
I mean,
bro.
there's a
You
lot of
stay
factors
putting the
that go into it.
YN
A lot of people
perception
place
into
all
a
the blame
positive
on the
light.
quarterback.
And
I don't
I'll
place
be the
all the
one
blame on the
to
quarterback.
attack these fools. Because if y'all
I've
gonna
seen
keep coming at
below
my boy
average
Pickens,
quarterbacks
man,
win
y'all
Super
gonna make me
Bowls because
revert
they
back
have
to
everything else that
2023
works out
Dak attack mode on some of y'all, man.
So,
Y'all are getting out of control,
my
man.
daughters are
Leave
college
George
now.
Pickens'
Hell
name
yeah.
out of y'all
That's
damn
what's up.
mouths,
That's
man.
what's up.
Let this young man ball. He ain't do nothing to y'all Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Hopefully
he
they
ain't request no
loans get
trade,
relieved.
and I would be mad
That's
too
all I
if I
think
was
I
having
worry
to catch
about when I hear
passes
about
out the
college,
dirt
bro.
from Baby
Hopefully those
Hands,
student
Kenny
loans
Pickett,
don't-
and Russiera. I would be
Don't
mad
put 'em
too,
in
man.
debt and they're
So
able to
damn,
relieve
let
'em
this
and
young
have a
man have a
good,
chance to be
career after
successful, and y'all
I
cut it
appreciate
out.
that, Uncle
Damn.
Charles. I
This is
appreciate
just more of
that.
a rallying
You
call, just kind
tried.
of more of an example of why this young man needs us to embrace him, Cowboys fans. We do not need to
Why did
keep
you just
our
describe?
doubts on him. We don't need to voice our concerns. We all know the concerns that comes with getting a player that can be a little bit unpredictable. We all know that. But damn it, we need to pour as much positive energy into George Pickens as possible, so that way he really.
All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't think George Pickens is going to be the problem here that he was in Pittsburgh. I have a feeling that ain't going to be the case here. I have a feeling that ain't going to be the case. I'm going to go ahead and take this down. It's up. Bam. I think Pickens will have a better career here. Hopefully we can sign him. Hopefully we can get him paid. And him and CD work something out where they both like, hey, we both want to be number ones. We both want to be paid like number ones, but we're going to take what it is to stay together and be a stacked team. That would be a perfect world. We know that ain't the existence of it, and really the convenience of it is George Pickens' agent is the same agent as Michael Parsons, who Jerry Jones said that he didn't even know. 1 year rental, 35 mil, 2026. Hey, like it may be that. It may be that, Kid Cowboy. And that may also be why he's on his best behavior. That may be why he puts up a stellar season. Because everything he does this year is going to be the audition for where he goes next year, whether it's here or anywhere else. So if he wants to be able to have the choice of his pickings, you know, no pun intended, if he would, or all pun intended really, but if he wants to have the choice of his pickings, then man, he knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's got to do. And like I said, he's not a locker room cancer. He has no off-field issues. The man's a model citizen off the field. So if all he's got to do is tame down a little bit of the personal flagrant fouls, I don't want him to lose that energy though. I want that same physical mentality. Like that's why I wanted him here. We need a little bit of crazy on the team. You know, just the right dose of crazy. I don't know what we're gonna have. I don't know how it ends up working out. I have no idea. Somehow the Eagles managed to make it work with Smitty and AJ Brown, and they went to a Super Bowl with it and added a $20 million running back to top it off, or $30 million, whatever it is. I think he's $20 million. But that bag dictates. The size of that bag will dictate how well or not he is. You know, that's going to be a big factor in there on whether or not he gets paid a big bag. Or yeah, of course he's going to get a bag regardless. But depending on what he does this year, he can increase that bag by probably tens of millions, or at least, you know, ones of millions. But so I think Pickens is going to do good here. And as much as most people don't like Dak Prescott's the best quarterback that Pickens has ever had. Tyler Smith wants $40 million. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I know the salary cap's going to continue to go up as well. When you got the salary cap going up 27 to 35 million a year, I mean, it's like adding another player, so might as well. I agree. I don't think we need another receiver. I think between Tolbert, Mingo, and Turpin, they could figure that out. We also got Flournoy and Cooper, whatever his name is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I hear you. I hear you, Kid Cowboy. But hey, man, the cap that grows every year is also manipulated like hell every year. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl off the back of Marshawn Lynch and Pete Carroll. When they don't hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, they don't win a Super Bowl, do they? Marshawn Lynch was the reason for that Super Bowl in Seattle, and the reason why they got back to it. When they chose to not run the ball with him, what happened? They got picked off and lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots. And he only played with Russell Wilson for like 6 weeks, or half a season. He didn't play with Russell Wilson for even a whole season. So he didn't really have a training camp with Russell Wilson. He's got a training camp with Dak. He has a whole season to look forward to, as long as everybody stays healthy, to look forward to with Dak. I'm not saying anything about Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman did just enough. He did just enough. That's how the league works, though. I think we could use another DT. I'm not gonna sleep on Joey Toya though. I like that Samoan Joey Toya. I think that boy is gonna come in and ball out. But he may even steal Mozzie Smith's job. But I would agree that we still need another one. Yeah, foils, yeah. Aluminum foils. All of it. All of it. I'm not saying anything against that. I agree. I agree, Kid Cowboy. I'm agreeing with you. No argument here. For sure. I did. I don't think Russell Wilson is anything right now. Russell Wilson is barely making a roster right now. Dak Prescott's making a roster just fine. Russell Wilson is struggling to get a job and stay on a job. He's on his 4th team in 4 years. Russell Wilson is on his 4th team in 4 years. Super Bowl who? Like, let Russ cook? Who? Let Russ cook. The creator of that is our head coach. The creator of Let Russ Cook is our head coach. He created that. Brian Schottenheimer, when he was under Pete Carroll as the offensive coordinator for Seattle during those Super Bowls. Oh, I agree. I agree. But that's why you got stellar-ass receivers 1 and 2 so that you ain't got to worry as much. It ain't a 50-50 ball no more. It's a 90-10 ball or an 80-20 ball. He's the starter for now in New York. For now. We don't know how long that's going to last. He was the starter for the other 2 teams, too. Dang, that's crazy. Montana did get traded. You're right, because they thought they had something in Steve Young. I think there was a season or 2 that they played them together. Kind of like Steve Zerline and or not Steve Zerline, but Troy Aikman and Steve Zerline or Berline, whatever his name was. Manning got traded, yeah. Manning didn't get traded 4 times though. What Manning didn't do is hit the free agency. Russell Wilson hit free agency. Most good quarterbacks don't hit free agency. Hence why Aaron Rodgers' ass is in free agency now, because he ain't good no more. The GOAT didn't get traded. You talking about Tom Brady, he didn't get traded. Tom Brady wanted out. Bill Belichick thought he could do better without Tom Brady, and we found out that to be not the case. We found out that the Super Bowls followed Tom Brady, not Bill Belichick. Hell yeah, Dylan. I hear you, brother. But he didn't get traded. He got cut. And then went to Tampa Bay. Pickens' numbers are from Wilson, not only for part of last year, not for all of his career. Pickens was there for 3 years. Pickens was in Pittsburgh for 3 years. Russell Wilson played, what, 14 games, 13 games maybe? Russell Wilson was only there for 13 games. He wasn't even there for a full season. They're not all from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was in Denver the season before that, while Pickens was still in Pittsburgh with Mason Graham, or Mason Rudolph, I mean. Why do you come here near the temperatures of the shitty Bears? Answer me, boy. What do you mean raising the goalpost? I'm just pointing out the facts and the situations that you're bringing up. I'm not putting figurative things up there. I'm putting facts up there. I'm just putting facts up there. That's all. Just because you want to bring up a point but not look at all of the facts that come with that point don't mean anything. Yeah, last year he played 14 games or 13 games with Pickens. But the first 4 games, weren't Russ's stats with Pickens. Those were Justin Fields. Pickens never even had an off season with Russell Wilson. Oh, it's nice over here, Dylan. It's nice over here, brother. Nice and warm. Exactly. Imagine what he'll do with a quarterback that's better than Russ, because Russ isn't as good as Dak now. Russ ain't won a Super Bowl in how many years? When did Russell Wilson win the Super Bowl? How many years ago? What has he done since then? Besides switch teams 4 times? He's not right now. Russell Wilson is not as good as Dak Prescott, or Dak Prescott would be the guy that's bouncing from team to team, not Russ. I think it's going to be a difference. I think he's going to get to have an off season with Dak Prescott. You know, when CeeDee Lamb picked up George Pickens from the airport, you know the first thing he did? They went straight to Dak Prescott's house. Started playing pass in the backyard. So, I mean, it's crazy. You can people. I mean, you can look at stats and post them and facts and put them out in place to fit almost any narrative, which is why I don't really do a whole lot of stats. But stop timing people out, Messi. He ain't do nothing wrong. There's not a stipulation that says answer Messi's question or get timed out. That's not the rules. I think he's holding it very well. I think Russell Wilson can't hold Russell Wilson from Super Bowl time, Russell Wilson's jockstrap. Russell Wilson is doo-doo now. Seattle had the Legion of Boom. Yeah, the Legion of Boom and Marshawn Lynch is what won those Super Bowls. It wasn't Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was a bipartisan. He won that Super Bowl because of the team that he was on. Was going to go there and get there, whether it was him. You could have had Justin Fields win that Super Bowl and been on Seattle. Obviously, that was before his time, because the Super Bowl was a long time ago. What up, Chiefs Kingdom? Mr. Billy in the house. Messi. Did you time out Billy too? Stop timing people out. God damn, Messi. That's abuse of power, Messi. That's an abuse of power. You used to yell at Didi for it. Seahawks defense was as good as 85 Bears, in my opinion. I don't know that I'd put them on that level necessarily, because the 85 Bears were the 85 Bears. There's a reason why they were the 85 Bears. But the Seahawks were one hell of a fucking football team and one hell of a defense. And Stanford don't mean shit in football. What up, Walt? What's good? What's good? Messi is getting his hands dirty. He's being messy today, for sure. What's that got to do with anything? That tells me Dak had to work harder for what he got. That just tells me Dak had to work harder for what he got. Stanford was a gimme. Mississippi State, it means he had to have work ethic to get it. That just means he had to work harder to do it. Come on now. You ain't making your argument any better there, Kid Cowboy. Watch out. What up, Hoodie Kush? What up, Lewis? What's good? There you go, Lewis. Let him know. Let him know. Brock Purdy did, in fact, sign a contract. Yes, sir. Hoodie Kush, let him know it. Not always. Dak's a very intelligent man. Dak's a very intelligent man, and Russell Wilson dated someone that was rumored at one time to be a man. That's all I'm going to say. Dak Prescott's wife was never rumored to be a man at one time. Russell's wife was. I remember back when I was younger, they used to wonder if Sierra was really a man. With a grain of salt. What was the contract that he signed, Walt? No, yeah, man. Your team is building, so it's got a ways to go, probably. Holy hell, rumors. Exactly, Billy. Right? Right, Hoodie? I agree. I agree. And I'm not even like the biggest Dak Prescott fan. I support him because that's my quarterback. That's what it was. That's what it was. Was rumored to be a hermaphrodite. Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's what it was. What do you want, Micah?
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear? You are a Buzz Lightyear.
No, you're Buzz Lightyear. We have Buzz Lightyear. We're gay.
There you go. Wasn't she rumored to be a man because she was a hermaphrodite? If I'm not mistaken, is she not actually a hermaphrodite? Or was that the rumor? I can't remember. It was years ago. It was years ago. 250 million? Damn, I wonder what the guaranteeing is. Russell or Dak? I will put up a poll. See who's better, Russell Wilson or Dak. Oh. There we go. I'll put the poll up for you, Dylan. We know Russell. It won't be a Toy Story this year. I'll have my record. I'll put my record out, Dylan, once the preseason's coming to a conclusion. $53 million a year. That ain't bad. I know he had turned down a deal. I don't know what that deal was for, though. Nah, we definitely ain't worried about the New York midgets. That's for sure. Patty Mahomes. Exactly, Messi. Yes, Russell Wilson has a Super Bowl, mostly off the back of Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom with some Pete Carroll. No, yeah, that was what happened when they put it in Russ's hands. Yeah, San Fran, yeah, they fell out the window this year, man. They just couldn't keep it together, for sure. They definitely just couldn't keep it together. And then they let go of a lot of pieces. I'm going to pull something up real quick. Just sub, bro. I appreciate that, Hoodie Kush. That's dope, bro. Appreciate you. We also do, on Mondays and Fridays, we do a little WWE as well for Raw and SmackDown. But yeah, we'll be live for every football game that's a Cowboys. Plus, we'll do from halftime on each Thursday and Monday game. And then from Sunday, I'm usually live from 1 till 11. I usually do all 3 slates of games. So we'll have a lot of football to do this year. And we'll have some WWE to do. And obviously, we'll have some shows in between the games. I agree, Hoodie. I agree. I think this is the show. All right, yo, I'm going to put this on the screen here real quick, and let me know what y'all think about this. It'll pop up for me. There we go. All right, here we go.
For you. I'm going to give you Dak Prescott. I'll get a blind quarterback. Not that he can't see. That would be awesome.
What's wrong with you?
This is Dak Prescott up against a blind quarterback's numbers. Who do you think football numbers those are? I don't think they're the Patriots 2.0. Not yet. The Patriots were there like 13 out of 20 years. That's crazy, though. Well, who do you think this guy is on the left or on the right? Who Eagles will be next? I don't know. Whose numbers do you think those guys that has the question marks are? Which is crazy because if you look at it, the win-loss record is really close. Dak is down by 3 games. But passing TDs were the same. Interceptions, Dak had less. Passer rating, Dak had better. Yards per attempt, Dak had better. Completion percentage, Dak had better. Who do y'all think that this quarterback on the right is? I got faith in Shoddy. I'm riding with the Shoddy. I'm riding with the Shoddy. But whose stats do you think those are? Yeah, we'll go ahead and play it.
Blind quarterback? Yeah.
How bad do you think Dak is?
In sports TV, the producers tell me this is what we call a blind reveal. The quarterback's not blind because that'd be some kind of awesome story.
I would pass for 105 touchdowns.
So here's the Dak Prescott's on the left, no-name quarterback's on the right. Pretty even win-loss record.
Pretty even.
Dead on touchdowns, dead on interceptions. Dak's got a better passer rating, yards per attempt dead on, and completion percentage dead on. Those two quarterbacks, I think we could say, are exactly the same.
That's the same person.
Is that a fair thing for me to say, Blacks?
They are.
Those two quarterbacks statistically are the same guy, meaning the guy on the right's not better than Dak, Dak's not better than the guy on the right. So I'm going to do a 3-2-1 countdown. All right, and I want you to see who Dak compares to in real time with real stats in the NFL. 3, 2, 1,
yeah,
reveal.
I think they're done.
What's
too.
up?
There you go. There you go. There it is. So I'll just leave that there for a second. Yeah. It's not all about stats. It's not all about... Kid Cowboy, you want me to look up the winning record too? I can look up the winning record. Do you know who's second to Pat Mahomes? Most wins in his career. Do you know who's second to Pat Mahomes? It's Dak Prescott. It's Dak Prescott. So he's a winning quarterback too. I don't normally give a damn about stats. I don't normally give a damn about stats. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hold on. Hold on. All right, so I'm going to bring something else up. Bring something else up for you, since Dak can't win. Dak can't win, right? All right, who is the most winning quarterback in the last 10 years? All right, in the last 10 seasons between May 15, 2015 to 2025, Tom Brady has the most, but he's not an active quarterback. So then you go back in term. Josh Allen has 67 or 76 wins. Dak Prescott has 76 wins. Lamar Jackson is at 74. Come on now. Do I got to keep putting stuff up here for you guys? What does that say? Like, what does it say? But he's not a winning quarterback, right? But he's not a winning quarterback, right? But he's not a winning quarterback. He was second runner-up in 2023, Kid Cowboy. He was second runner-up and robbed. He was robbed by Lamar Jackson. It's not, but what I'm saying, Kid Cowboy, is it's not all about the quarterback. It's about the team around the quarterback, the culture, the coaches. The front office has a play in it too. I agree about winning in the postseason. I agree. But the narrative is that Dak can't win a game. How can he not win a game when in the last 10 years he's the third? All right, so right now, as active quarterbacks go, he's in first place. Him and Josh Allen are tied in first place because Tom Brady's retired. So really it's these two, and then Drew Brees doesn't count either, but it's Dak Prescott and Lamar and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. You don't think that I think he gets back to the playoffs this year. I think Dak Prescott gets to the playoffs this year. Like, I'm just putting facts out there. Like, that's all I'm doing. I ain't even pushing a narrative with them. I'm just stating the narrative that was already surrounding the player and then putting the facts up that contradict it. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I ain't even trying to make an argument for him. To be honest with you, I ain't trying to make an argument for him. I think the Cowboys could easily make the playoffs this year. I think they could easily make the playoffs this year with the acquisitions that we've done. Everything's going to lay in on how the culture turns out and how well the coach actually turns out for us. Exactly. Exactly. Hoodie, when Dak Prescott's on the field, you can almost guarantee 10 wins. You can almost guarantee that man is going to get 10 wins if he stays healthy. Your book never lies. I'm sorry, Kid Cowboy, but I don't trust the author of the book. I don't trust the author of the book. All players miss football games. All players miss football games. Part of football is getting hurt. Unfortunately, it's the ugly side of football. Injuries are a part of football. They just scored 3 goals. Damn, carnage. He's definitely doing better this offseason. That's for sure. That's for sure. I hear you. I said that we could easily make the playoffs as long as we stay healthy. If we stay healthy, I think we can make the playoffs. If injuries come into play and set our season aside like they did last year, then that's different. But that's not what I'm banking on. Right? Right, Hoodie? You ain't lying. And the Eagles could start off in worse position than that. Do you not see the Eagles start to the schedule? I'm telling you right now, don't let the Eagles lose to the Cowboys week 1. Do not let the Eagles lose to the Cowboys week 1. That is supposed to be a measuring stick game for the Cowboys. You got the Super Bowl champions, and you got a team that was damn near built yesterday. Don't let that team that was just built yesterday beat the team that just defending the Super Bowl, because that's supposed to be a measuring stick game for the Cowboys to see how good we are. Most people with intellect would tell you that the Eagles should win that game because they're an established team that have been proven. The Cowboys were just built. The Cowboys just put all this together. They got new coaches, 30% of new players. If the Eagles lose to the Cowboys week 1, that slide that the Eagles could go on could be bad for the Eagles. The Eagles don't generally start off hot. Normally, the Eagles have a slow start to their season. I'm not saying I don't want Kid Cowboy. I don't want anybody to be betting with the Cowboys. You know why? Because then they get their heads inflated. I want my team to stay the underdog. I want the Cowboys to be the team that people like have no shot, because I feel like that's when they play their best. When people are counting them out. When they feel like they got nothing to lose. I don't do betting period to begin with, so it don't matter. All right, Lewis, man, you stay blessed, brother. What up, man? Way over Russ, right? Right? It's 75% of the chat is saying Dak over Russ. Like, I ain't making it up. I don't bet any money on football. I don't make bets. So, I mean, that's not a conversation for me to have. I'm not from Vegas. I think he's just rooting for the Cowboys to beat the Eagles. Because the Eagles beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think that's all Billy's getting at. He got that ring off of the Legion of Boom, and Marshawn Lynch is back. The next year, they tried to put it on Russell's back, and what happened? Interception, game over, Patriots win. If Marshawn Lynch just ran the ball, Seahawks would have won back-to-back Super Bowls. That's what I figured. But, yo, we're going to conclude the show here today. And y'all stay blessed. It's 9 o'clock. I've got some things I've got to hurry up and get done in here. But y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay great. We'll be back tomorrow at 8. WWE. Make sure y'all tap in with your boy. Make sure y'all have that subscribe button down and the notification down too, so y'all get notified every time I go live, because it's going to become more and more. But yeah, just stay tuned with us. Watch the channel grow. Be part of this journey with us, man. I love all of y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Roll Ryals again.